Friend Not Friends, the Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The name might not be great, but what if we included Tyvis Powell, a 3-year starter for the Buckeyes, defensive MVP of a national title game, and the man who brought down Alabama.
Ball in the air toward the end zone, and that ball is going to be...
Look out!
The Buckeyes get it. Coming out of the end zone with a football for Ohio State is Tyvis Powell. He goes racing up and is tackled at the 30-yard line, and the king of the SEC has fallen.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with national champion Tyvis Powell. Oh, and Eric Reeser.
Happy Saturday. Hope you're staying dry out there. Tyvis, I don't know about you, but it feels like April did not go quietly. This week's been off the bleeping chain.
It's been a lot of stories, a lot of things.
That going into the week, you'd have had no clue.
I agree.
That you'd be talking about. Most of our conversation here on The Fan has been 100 humans versus a gorilla. You had Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend hijacking North Carolina's football program.
We're not talking about this.
Oh, no, we're talking about this for the next 3 hours. We won't just dwell on that. But everything with digging through her past, what her mom does, what she owns. It's something that I don't think you can write. It's only sports that can bring you the nonsense that we're about to get into. We got about 3 hours today. Not a long time, but a good time. Eric Reeser, Tyvis Powell, Cole Bartimes is with us as well. This week, you were excited because April's done. You can get into May. May opens the door to summer. You know, you heard Skip on Tita Green talk about they're at Muirfield Village next week. We'll be out there in 4 weeks for the Memorial Tournament. And then you get the summer. Because at the end of this month, Tyvis, I'm putting my chair out on Zollinger Road to save my spot for the 4th of July parade in Upper Arlington. Don't touch my chair. You touch my chair, I touch you.
You put your chair out that early?
Someone does.
June.
Well, yeah, after Memorial Day.
You put a chair out in the yard.
So I think we talked about this last year, was the 4th of July parade. The month before that, chairs start to litter Northwest Boulevard. From about 5 Points, the intersection is where it's about Zollinger Road, all the way down through North Star.
I got to make sure I take a stroll.
You said this last year, and I tried to get you out for the parade, and you said no.
No, I didn't say no. I had other obligations.
Yeah, but you agreed to it, and then you had you're the king of I've got other obligations.
No.
The absolute king.
Excuse me.
Crown him.
That's like
Tyvis Powell, other obligations.
That's like today. Today is a special day in the Powell's household, but I managed to come.
What makes today special?
It's my youngest daughter's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, Milani Jo turns 3 years old today.
Wow.
You go from terrible 2s to terrible 3s.
I remember, we were doing this show when she was born.
Yeah.
So it's been a run, friend.
Yeah.
As in a week, you embark on your new venture.
Yeah.
T-Bone and Tyvis in the morning, 6 to 9 right here on The Fan. I couldn't be happier for you two.
I appreciate it.
It's very well deserved. You guys will kill it in the mornings, pending you're able to get your body clock after a month in rhythm.
You think it's going to take a month?
I think it will. I think you'll be excited for a month, and then it's going to hit you. Because you've never done mornings before. You've never done those kind of mornings.
But I also did weightlifting at 6 in the morning.
It's different.
You're right. The weightlifting harder.
No, I would say the radio lifting is harder than the physical weightlifting because you can wake your body up quicker, and you don't have to be all there mentally to do a bench press.
But I'm always
to do rows or squats.
But I'm always in my right mind.
That I don't doubt, but this will be different for you. But I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to hear you guys.
After a month, we'll be like, Eric, ooh, wee.
Well, yeah, of course, you'll feel it. Like the body's just not used to, because you have to be 100%. Like you can't be yawning into microphones at 6 in the morning. You have to be guiding Columbus drivers to work.
I think I'm gonna,
or Columbus parents to school or to summer camp.
In a very happy tone.
That I don't doubt.
No, it'll be fine.
But this is a happy day.
I'm looking forward to it. But yes, this it will be different. You know, obviously I won't get the chance to work with everybody like I used to, which was a great part of this job, is being able to fill in on different shows and stuff. I will miss that aspect of it, but I am very excited to do, to work with T-Bone, who's a legend at this station. He's been here for many, many years. This is a guy that was a producer that worked his way into the afternoon drive, and now he's going to the morning drive. So, he's been successful in his career, and I'm glad that he's allowing me to share the stage with him.
And you got Bodie. who's
And
on a similar track.
Bodie will never agree with anything that I say.
Well, that's what's good about you two. Like the relationship you guys have is just always combative.
I don't understand. Like the stuff I say is good. I don't understand why he disagrees.
I can see how you would think that. All of the stuff you say is good.
I get out here and I tell no lies.
You tell your truth
and I'm
100% of the time. That is factual, my friend. Well, that is what we'd say, the real truth.
The real truth is what I said.
It's debatable.
You know what? This is really what I've learned in life about myself. Is I will say something and people will say, that's ludicrous or that's crazy. That's not true. And then they'll go out and do their research and they'll come back and be like, you know what? He was right.
I'm sure that happens.
This happens with me and my wife when we get into an argument. Like I'll say something.
You really want to go down this track?
I'm just saying. Like, right. I'll say something and I won't even argue it. Like I'll just say it and then she'll fight it. Okay. And I say, all right, you right. And then a couple of months later, she'll be like, you know what? You was right.
You would have to understand if somebody listening to that could take away that you say you're right 100% of the time compared to your wife.
I wouldn't say 100%.
I wouldn't either.
Nothing in life is 100%.
No.
Nothing in life is 0%.
So I'm sure there are instances where that happens, but I'm also sure there are instances where something you say with a complete and total confidence turns out to be the absolute least truthful. Like you stealing a second base from first base in a Major League Baseball game against a Major League Baseball pitcher, that's ludicrous, Tyvis.
Why is that ludicrous?
You at 31 years old, 250 pounds of you.
I just showed you my work.
Okay.
Before we came in here, you seen my work.
That was sprinting against another former athlete who is out of his athletic prime.
Oh, my.
While you guys were wearing business casual clothing.
And I still was rolling.
You beat him. Okay, great. Who was the guy? What was the guy's name you raced?
Kenyon Barner.
Okay. Who was in his athletic prime 5 years ago? Maybe a little less than that.
Wait, what is this? What is this?
You're watching, because I know what you did. I know what you did.
Wait a minute.
You watched Jose Ramirez in the peak of his athletic prime, an all-star Jose Ramirez? Yes, I would say. You watched him steal second from first, an all-star baseball player. And you said, I could do that.
I'm faster than Jose, so.
At your peak of your athletic prime,
no,
that I don't doubt. Today you're not.
Today.
No. Not from point A to point B, and point A being first base, point B being second base. Also, while not having a catcher or a pitcher gun you down at second.
Eric, I think you...
If it was a position player pitching, he wouldn't. He maybe wouldn't.
I see what's going on here.
What's going on?
You think because I didn't put on a couple pounds...
Come on. Come on. I'm not trying to fat shame you, brother, but let's be honest.
All of a sudden, like, I lost my speed. Like, I'm still 4.46. To y'all knowledge.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you could go out there right now and run a 4.640. I do not.
That's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Did you not just see me rolling business?
When was that?
That was the Big Ten Championship.
Did you time the 40?
No.
Okay. If you'd have timed it with the stopwatch.
It'd have been saying 4.46.
I'm sure it would. In your little universe, I'm absolutely sure.
In my mind, it said 4.46.
Can you post that video?
Of which one?
Of you racing Kenyon Barner?
I don't think I can, because that was on my, I saved it on my YouTube library.
Figure out a way to get that available at 971 The Fan and have our listeners maybe time it and come back to you with 6 seconds or 7 seconds.
They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, wow,
that's the fastest man in business casual I've ever seen.
They're going to say, that guy's really fast. Ooh.
Of that, I have no doubt. Hey, turn your phone off, man. 2 best words in sports, Game 7. There's some truth to that. The only thing I was interested in last night for Rockets and Warriors, Game 6, is the ending of that game would dictate when the Cavaliers' time in Game 1 of their Eastern Conference Finals series would be announced. Because I think TNT and Max was waiting for, if Houston was able to force Game 7, they'd hold Cleveland before, and then they'd have the game in Houston, the nightcap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Cavs-Pacers Game 1 Sunday, at 6 p.m., and you're going to get Game 7 between the Warriors and the Rockets in their Western Conference first-round playoff series. That game will tip around 8-ish.
Are you sad that Tyrese Halliburton's dad won't be there?
No, he has no business being in a Pacers game right now. And I don't know if what was announced on Friday, I believe it was that John Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton's father, for getting in the face of Giannis Antetokounmpo after the Pacers dismissed your Milwaukee Bucks earlier in the week.
Thank you for
They
putting
said that you
there.
cannot attend, and they said they came to the agreement that John would not be at any of his son's games moving forward. Now, if the Pacers are able to knock out the Cleveland Cavaliers, I would hope they would give him the runway to go to Eastern Conference Finals games in Indianapolis.
His father?
Yeah. Because while it was a bad look,
I'm not going to lie.
I do think it was embarrassing enough for the Halliburtons where I think you give him that, all right, here's your second chance. But this is your final chance.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that they kind of brought the hammer down on this.
I wasn't for that instance.
I was like, okay, like, you banned him for
the statute of limitations, I think, can be lifted.
Yeah, like
if the Pacers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think it's going to be the case. Cavs in 6, but
I got Cavs in 5. But anyways, I feel like what Giannis was saying was 100% correct. Like, I get it. Like, go celebrate with your son and all those
keep
things.
it off the court.
Yeah, like, I get that.
Yep.
Like, you're hyped up, but like, you didn't have to get in Giannis's face. Like,
Did not.
Like, the
And
Pacers have not achieved anything, and Giannis has won a championship already. So it's like he shouldn't have did that. But like, I also in the same breath don't think it's as bad as like, all right, you banned from NBA games. Like, that's, to me, like, that's ridiculous.
It was
Fining. Fine Halliburton for his dad.
So that's the thing. Like, Tyrese shouldn't be held responsible for the actions of his dad. And if you watch the video again, I feel like John was out there celebrating on the court and then turned around and bleep, there's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because how do you miss him? And then the altercation happened, which really wasn't a whole lot, but I think for John, this is an understandable ban for just the Eastern Conference semifinals. So with what John did for Tyrese, who's going to be the focal point for the Pacers in the Eastern Conference semifinals, what the Cavs should do for Game 1, I will discuss with Tyvis next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by two things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your four-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You
are...
don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh yeah, Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
When you're starting a home improvement project, a few big questions always come up. Who can I trust? Will they be there if something goes wrong? And lastly, how much is this going to cost me? At Newman Roofing, we've been answering those questions for over 30 years. As a family-owned and operated company that takes pride in every aspect of the job, with family members involved in each department of the company, we treat your home like it's our own. That means clear communication, no shortcuts, and a white glove experience from start to finish. And when it comes to cost, we get it. That's why we offer flexible financing options so you can get the quality your home needs at a price that works for your budget. Don't just take our word for it. With over 700 5-star reviews on Google, families across Central Ohio are sharing their Newman Roofing experience. For roofing, siding, and gutter solutions built around family, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, you can save on fresh medium avocados or delicious honey mangoes. Just 69 cents each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 11th, that one very special day when you can show Mom how much you appreciate everything she's done for you. What says love and appreciation more than a beautiful flowering gift from Oakland Nursery? Hanging baskets exploding with spring color, hand-potted roses in thousands of varieties, and lovely annuals for a beautiful garden. Show your love and appreciation for Mom with a trip to Oakland Nursery. For 85 years, moms throughout Central Ohio have looked forward to Mother's Day gifts from Oakland Nursery.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're still expecting more rain showers here this afternoon into the evening. High temperatures around the upper 50s. And then for tonight, cooling down to the lower 50s with more rain showers possible here through the overnight into our Sunday morning. We'll see the chance for rain showers and a few thunderstorms here by Sunday afternoon with highs into the 60s. And the chance of rain will continue to Monday and Tuesday with highs in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
So much with the NBA that's entertaining happens off the court. Such was the case in Game 5 of the first-round series between the Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. John Halliburton, father of Tyrese Halliburton, got in what people are calling an altercation. Like, he just held up a flag and talked some trash to Giannis after the Bucks were eliminated. It was the gentleman's sweep given by the Pacers. John Halliburton got the ban hammer from the NBA. He's no longer allowed to attend his son's games. I think that's TBD. Like, they'll probably evaluate it after pending the Pacers get past the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference semifinals. But game 1 of that series will be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Internet savant McNeil had an AI, I think this was an AI-generated image, but when you have teams for playoff games, they'll show their stadium with shirts over all of the seats, like the free giveaway shirt that doesn't fit anybody ever. And his image had wine shirts all over Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with gold lettering, "Control Your Dad." And the Cavaliers C, which those look gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah, the Cavs should definitely roll.
Absolutely should have those shirts. And this came after the news that John Halliburton's not going to be attending any games in this series. The NBC affiliate in Indianapolis, a wonderful Tegna station, asked the Cavaliers to confirm if the Control Your Dad shirts were the giveaway for Game 1. Cavaliers' response, no, that is not our T-shirt giveaway for the fans. Theirs is going to be wine shirts with the phrasing, "We are the diff." and diff in gigantic font. And so they are leaning into what some coaches have taken umbrage with the Cavaliers in their humongatron having the diff on the scoreboard.
I feel like it's a miss.
I do too.
I really feel like
I don't love that.
You had an opportunity here to really rub it in and
I think they're
get into that other team's head and you kind of
have some fun with it.
Yeah.
This isn't they're I guess saying like the fans are the difference, but it misses for me.
Yeah, no, they ain't.
So go back to the Control Your Dad shirts or just do bobbleheads. Like I don't know why anymore if bobbleheads are the option. I know it's the expense obviously cuz just printing or to be 18,000 extra large shirts that nobody wears is much cheaper than handing out 20,000 bobbleheads. But I think we came to the conclusion on Bishop and Friends yesterday that bobbleheads are the best giveaways at sporting events.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that people like really
actually want and hold on to.
Exactly. Yep. That's it. That's bobblehead. They should have had a Tyvis Powell bobblehead night at all.
Have they not?
No.
Well, I think coming up shortly, you're about to be one of two in Morning Drive on 97.1 The Fan. And so I think Man and Bone have a bobblehead of the two of them at a desk.
Oh, really?
There's no reason we couldn't get the Blue Jackets or maybe the Clippers to do a Tyvis and a T-Bone and Tyvis night.
Well, after I steal second, maybe that's what we should do. If I successfully make it to second base, we have a Tyvis bobblehead.
So you were raising money for the kids last night, but we had a gathering of fan employees.
Yes.
And we thought, boy, with our affiliation with the Cincinnati Reds, get Tyvis down to Cincinnati and try to have him actually steal against a starting pitcher.
Hunter Green.
Sure. And their starting catcher. They're starting first, like they're starting first baseman, starting pitcher, starting catcher, starting second baseman,
they wouldn't do
starting
it now.
shortstop.
I would have.
Of course, you don't do it now. But you do it in the off season to see if that happens.
I'd have to go to like spring training or something.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Send you out to Arizona.
And I would be. I'd come back
the early shows
with a big Kool-Aid smile on my face because I just shocked the world.
Sir, I do not think
shocked the world
that would go the way you think it will. You had mentioned that like. The NBA, and they were probably thinking about fining Tyrese Halliburton for what his dad did, but I don't necessarily think that would be fair to Tyrese because he can't control his father. It's different than the NFL, and
you don't think
the league fined.
You don't think you could control your parents?
I don't think you should be held responsible for his actions. Not really.
I think that like I said, I think this was too much. Like I think they could have said, "Hey, Tyrese." I truly believe. Wait a minute. I truly believe that. After everything that happened with the backlash, like I think John Halliburton is like, all right, he admitted like I was wrong.
Yeah,
like I think that's it. I don't think he will ever do it again.
I don't either. And so I think that's where the grace should come for both Halliburtons. But I thought that if his dad has never acted out before,
that's what I'm saying.
Like it's not like Ja Morant's dad. Like that I might think too, okay, maybe taking money from Ja so that his dad gets the message. It's really what this is all about, right? You're sending a message. You're making sure you do not do this again. Do not become the example. I do think it was fair for the NFL to fine Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich the $100,000 for having his son find Shedeur Sanders' phone number.
How is his son going to pay that $100,000? Bro?
Well, his dad's going to pay.
No. I understand.
Yard work until forever.
How old is this kid? 21?
21. And so the NFL also fined the Atlanta Falcons $250,000. It was also reported yesterday that Kyle McCord got a prank call during the draft. Tyler Warren got pranked. JT Tuimoloau, Abdul Carter. All of them got pranked at some point during the NFL draft weekend. And that to me goes, you guys have to figure this out. Because
now was it a friend pranking them or was this just a random guy?
Each individual instance might have to be looked at. Yeah, because
I know some people that like some friends that do that stuff to like other friends, like Buckeyes did it to other Buckeyes just to be funny. But like,
did you get a prank call?
No.
Okay. But do you know people in your draft class? Can you say their names on the air?
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But they like really regret it. Like they said like I shouldn't have did that. Like because you got to understand.
You're taking the moment.
Yeah. Like when that phone lights up, like it's like oh my goodness, like it's like a rush that come to you. Like oh wow, this is really about to happen. And then you find out it's a prank. Like it sours the next time the phone ring because it's now you're hesitant. Like is this real or is this not? So, like, I don't like it for that moment. I get that it is kind of funny at times, but, like, you are robbing them of a genuine moment.
You just got to be better.
Yeah.
Like we just understanding those kinds of moments are so special because they only happen once.
Yeah.
You get drafted once, and that's it. You'll never relive that moment that you had been thinking about only for your entire life as a football player.
Well, I can't relate, so.
Yeah. It was interesting having that conversation last week about Shedeur and the slide because you were in those shoes.
Yeah, I slid.
Where you thought
I slid.
third, fourth round.
I slid way longer than he did, though.
How long from when you signed on with Seattle did you pick your number? Or were you given your number?
I was given my number.
Okay.
Like, they kind of had it
Who
for
was
me.
23 when you were playing? Do you remember?
Steven Terrell.
Okay.
He was a safety also.
And so you couldn't ask him, or you didn't? Did you?
No.
Okay.
No, I was at that point. Like for me, when you're undrafted, you're not walking in and making demands. At that point, I was just grateful for the opportunity to even be in the NFL, to have an opportunity. So like I wasn't making no demands. They gave me 40, and I was like, it's gonna be 40 until whatever. I don't care. Like it's so yeah. And if he left, like when I got to San Fran, like I had 45, and then like at the off season. After the season was done, you know, people leave, and then you be like, oh, can I change my number to this? And it was like a big change. So that's how I got from 45 to 30.
I saw this, and I didn't see it. You put it in front of me that Shedeur Sanders has one of the highest selling, or has the top selling jersey of the NFL draft class.
Which is crazy.
Strange, because you'd think he would be number 2 with the Cleveland Browns. But I'm looking at Fanatics right now, and it's Sanders 00s. Now, the caveat is this is a pre-order item. Orders containing this will be shipped separately 2 to 4 weeks after the player's number is officially confirmed. Confirmation will take place no later than the start of the 2025 NFL regular season.
Yeah.
So if you're buying this now, and it looks like a lot of you are, more so than Cam Ward.
So let me get this right. They're not going to ship the jersey until the season starts?
No later than the start of the season.
Okay, that's perfect because... Like, even if they gave him, let's say he took the number 5 now, and he wanted, I don't know, 2, and somebody had 2. If 2 don't make the team and he can change his number from 5 to 2, he 100% is going to do that. So it would be asinine for you to walk around with a Shedeur 5 when the season starts. He's wearing number 2. So actually, Fanatics doing everybody a favor by waiting.
Well, 2's available, 5's available.
Well, if you the thing is, you're a 5th round pick though. Like, it's like free agents that came in that signed that be like, you know what, I might want to wear number 2. It's people on the roster that be like, you know what, I want to change my number to. Like if Denzel said, I want to switch to number 2. Like,
well, I don't know if he's allowed to because don't you have to? What's the rule with the jersey switching? Because they have to go through.
You got to do it now. Before they
now's the time you do it before they print it.
Yeah.
So we'd have to your point, make that announcement. Yeah, it's probably available. I'm trying to think. What number's Flacco?
15.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
You're right there. So it looks like he could be 2, but
what if Dylan Gabriel won 2?
That's a good point.
He was the higher pick.
He was the higher draft pick. And so is that how it would go in an NFL facility?
It's number 8 is available because Elijah Moore is gone. So
that's
Dylan
right.
Gabriel
He goes to the Buffalo. Yes, Elijah Moore got signed by the Buffalo Bills this week. Is that how that goes in the NFL, where the higher draft pick,
your first pick?
Okay,
yeah.
He gets the first selection of it.
Yeah, he ain't gonna pick 2. He going 8 though. I think he's been wearing 8 his entire life.
Yeah, he's good to go with that because that number is free.
That's one of them other like Jerome Baker or somebody said like, you know what, I want to wear number 8. Like, all right, he probably gonna get it.
I was gonna do this later in the program, but this feels like the perfect time. Phil Simms played it perfectly. I'll tell you what he did in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so we talked about it we talked about this last week with jersey numbers and rookies making the ask of legends, of Hall of Famers, whether or not they could have their numbers. It was Abdul Carter, who was taken by the New York Giants with the 3rd overall pick, who wanted the 56 worn by Lawrence Taylor. LT told him to kick rocks. Carter wore 11 in his days playing at Penn State. And this was Phil Simms, who has his number 11 with the New York Giants retired. Phil Simms does a podcast with cousin Sal on FanDuel Sports Network. And Sal phrased a question to Phil that went like this.
What if Jackson Dart wants your number 11? Would you take it?
Hey, look, I told some of my friends and people around me, I said, I'd let him have it in a second. I said, can you just help it a little and make it better or whatever? I think it would be a lot of fun. It wouldn't bother me. But
would you really? Really, though? I mean, that's a pretty big honor, the 11. You're not going to give it up, right?
Yeah. It's just whatever. I don't know. I just go, if they really want it, but my wife, I don't know if my family said anything. The boys didn't say anything. But my agent, don't you dare give up that jersey number. Well, first off, Bill Carter's going to ask for it. But if he would have, it was up to me. I probably would give it to him.
So this was Friday morning when that audio came out, and I thought that's a really good job out of Phil because it's the absolute perfect thing to say. If he asks, sure, it's it's not really up to me. It was kind of how he phrased that. It's like, I'd like to. My family doesn't want me to. My agent told me I can't.
How is it not up to you?
Well, he's saying that. Of course, at the end of the day, it's his decision.
I'm about to say, let's.
That's why I think he's playing this perfectly, because Gary Myers, formerly of the New York Daily News, had this yesterday. Good news for Giants fans who believe in tradition. Phil Simms, number 11, will not be coming out of retirement for first-round pick Abdul Carter, who wore 11 at Penn State. Simms said on a podcast he would be okay with it, but he told me tonight he was outvoted by his family. After hearing that Simms was agreeable, Carter had said it would be an honor to wear number 11. LT had already turned down Carter's request to wear 56. Carter needs to create a legacy with his own number. Again, that's Gary with the end of that. Carter needs to create his legacy with his own number. Cynical me says it's just a number and I don't care. But for Phil, he played it perfectly where he says, yeah, I don't care. This is fine.
But
my family's telling me I can't. So sorry, I can't overrule my family and my agent. He's being the nice guy while everybody else can be the meanie to Abdul Carter about this, who tweeted after that news broke, damn, at this point, I'll be out there with just my last name on my jersey. No number. JK, it's all love. I just want to play football.
No, I mean, I think for him, I wonder, can you wear a single digit? Could he wear a single digit as a D lineman? Because he'd probably be the first. I wouldn't say he may be the first, but it'd be sweet for him.
It would be a rarity in the NFL.
That's what he should do. He should try to get a single digit number.
Well, I think you would have to. I don't know if they'd let a rookie do that.
I want to see the available numbers.
Available for the New York Giants?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now.
I don't know if they'd let a rookie pass rusher. It would have to be a...
Brian Burns got 0.
Okay, well, he can't have that.
Kayvon Thibodeau got 5.
Okay, well, he can't have that. I guess you're right. Like, they can wear...
Is 7 retired?
By the Giants, I have no idea.
7 is available. 4 is available.
But I thought it was a very good performance by Phil Simms the last 24 hours to be the good guy up front and then have his family and his agent step by back. Well, no, we can't have that.
Yeah, no. If I was legendary at Ohio State and they retired 23 and somebody asked for it, go ahead. Like, go ahead. Especially if it's the kid that I believe in. Like, you heard the story of I think it was Dion. Dion looked at a kid wanted to wear his jersey,
Florida State,
and he saw the kid and was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. But he gave him the opportunity. He said, all right, if you want to wear my number, I got to come to practice and I got to see if you're the real deal. Yeah. He went to Tallahassee, saw the kid practice, said no. Absolutely not. I think that's fair.
I think that's fair too. Like if somebody wanted to wear 23 and I saw him and I was like, oh yeah, that kid
can do it.
Absolutely wear, but like,
because to Phil's point, like if he can improve the legacy of 11, I think that only stands to help in the future. Because with a lot of these teams, when you have these retired numbers, you just have them retired and you don't really offer too much of an explanation as to why they're retired. When I think it would behoove them if they offered these numbers out and with those numbers, Bo brought this up the other day on Bishop and Friends. Michigan does a good job of their retired jerseys. They can let players wear the numbers, but you have a patch honoring that player. And so you always kind of keep that legacy in the forefront of fans' minds when they're thinking about these players. Like in so many NFL stadiums, they have like the physical ring of honor and they have the number on their Hall of Fame with the name next to it. But rarely do you see that explained to you. It's just there. And especially if you're a parent with young kids, you're taking them to a game, it would be NFL, NBA, MLB. You're not really sending them to the Hall of Legends or the Hall of Honor. Like you're trying to get them in their seats, trying to get them concessions. You're trying to make sure like everything's important that's taken care of, bathroom breaks. They don't get a chance to kind of experience that.
Yeah, I guess that's a bit. I guess the best part of it all is the ceremony that they throw for people that go in the ring of honor. Like that's
really cool.
That's about it. Like once you're in there, it's like
it
all
happens.
right, yeah,
all right,
yeah.
And we're walking.
But I understand also from a athlete standpoint to why they wouldn't let somebody wear their number, and it's not for the simple fact that, like, I as crazy as this may sound, I almost think that players would rather the guy not be as good that wears their number because, like, for example,
it's not being a very good teammate.
For example, no, let's take the number 15 with the Denver Nuggets. Mm-hmm. When you think of 15 for the Denver Nuggets, do you think of Carmelo Anthony or do you think of Nikola Jokic?
My first thought was Melo.
Okay, so if they retired a jersey, who would get that number? Like, who? If they say we're gonna retire number 15. Would you retire it for Melo or Jokic?
Won the title. I think you could do both.
No, you ain't nobody retiring no jersey for 2 days.
Then don't do it at all.
That's impossible. Like Jokic,
it's not impossible.
Jokic is like the best basketball player in the league. And for like the past
I agree
3
with that.
years.
Yeah. Who means more to the Nuggets?
That's the conversation of back-to-back MVP.
Who means more to the franchise? And probably in 5 years, we're going to say Jokic. So my guess is in 15 years, they'll retire his number 15.
So what about?
And Melo will be a fun afterthought. But that's what happens when you win the title. And that's what happens when you don't.
He had them on his back.
But he didn't win the title.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's messed up how Carmelo get done around the NBA.
It's not fair, right? It's not,
he was
professional
he's
sports.
a really good player.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he deserves to have at least one jersey retired, and I thought it would be with the Nuggets, but yeah,
Jokic came along.
They should have did it earlier
and won an MVP and then won a title. Like, sorry, man, that's how this works.
Yeah, well.
Like life comes at you fast. Isn't that what they say?
It's unfortunate.
The NFL said that it averaged 7.5 million viewers across all networks and digital channels for their draft. It's up 27% from last year. People are crediting that to the Shedeur Sanders slide and thinking that the interest was there for all of those rounds because they wanted to see this fall happen.
I just seen something from Jeremy Fowler that says that Cleveland started calling teams for a Shedeur deal in the late fourth round around the 135th pick.
They get him at 144?
Yeah.
I buy that.
Yeah.
They were clearly interested in him.
And the belief is that most teams had a day 2 grade on him.
Yeah, most teams were like, you're fine.
But he got to day 3. So.
Right, and then that's why they traded up to get him.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that as a Browns fan.
I mean, does it matter at this point?
No.
Like, at this point, it does not. He's in the league. Now you're going to be judged off of what you do from this moment on. Like, your dad's not here. All the stuff you did at Colorado is great. Yeah, you got your number retired. All that's great. But now, what are you going to do as a pro? It's the same thing I felt with Bronny. Like, I don't even care about the fact that you are LeBron's son. Like, I'm judging you based off of what I see now, from now on.
Now, the Browns can't carry 4 quarterbacks into the season.
They're not going to.
So
you get 2 in an emergency.
Flacco or Pickett.
I hate to say it, and I know people don't want to hear this, but I don't think Flacco makes it.
Yeah, the more I hear from people more in the know with the Browns than...
I think if the Browns knew that they were taking 2 quarterbacks in the draft, they wouldn't even have signed Joe.
Right. I think they had no idea that that was going to be the case. They were going to go into draft weekend and come out with 2 quarterbacks that they had pretty high grades on.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you left your white shoes at home. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Did you ask about Pick 3 from the Ohio Lottery? Okay, Pick 3 is a daily draw game where you pick 3 individual numbers between 0 and 9 that can be played straight, where numbers must be drawn in an exact order or boxed where they can be drawn in any order. You can win hundreds, and wagers start at only 50 cents. Want to learn more? Okay, go to OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Sick of the long security lines and flight delays? Travel on your terms. Go RVing and get ready to save at RCD RV's Open House. From May 3rd through the 10th, take advantage of huge deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Our Delaware, Heath, and Patasko locations will feature exclusive sale pricing on all new and pre-owned travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes with special financing rates available, plus discounts on camping accessories. Come by today. We'll have your road ready by Memorial Day. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So if you've looked outside lately, it's raining. It's going to rain for the rest of the day. It's going to rain tomorrow. I think we're going to be clear next weekend, which is important because that's Sonic Temple. So the hope is sometime next weekend, Tyvis, we can get you to do a mosh pit for the first time.
Go moshing.
We'll see if your schedule allows for it or if you have other obligations.
Lincoln Park plays at 9:20.
It's a little late.
Incubus plays at 7.
It'll be light moshing for the Incubus show.
I do want to see Lincoln Park. They say the new lead singer, the woman, is really good.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
All right, we'll see.
But then 3-6 Mafia come on at 10.
They're at 10.
So that's the thing. Like, if I'm gonna watch Lincoln Park,
you're staying for 3-6 Mafia.
I might as well stay for 3-6 Mafia.
The craziest thing, Tyvis, so I listened to a lot of 3-6 Mafia in high school, and every time I'd listen to them, I'd just be coughing so much. I don't know why. But a 3-6 Mafia song would come on, and I'm just coughing.
I gotta stay fly.
Well, some say fly, but... So yes,
clean version.
I would also like to watch 3-6 Mafia, but
this is a family show.
It's a little late in the evening. As the older I get, the less I can stay up, and I was never one to be able to stay up past 10:30, 11 o'clock anyway.
Yes,
like
me either.
In my teens, I gave up on the New Year's ball drop. Like it just nope.
Yeah, I haven't
see you next year.
I haven't seen the New Year's ball drop in some years.
And yes, I was the less fun friend at parties.
Well, that's fine.
But
it is what it is.
It's tonight's post time for the Kentucky Derbies, 6:57.
Oh, that can do that.
And that's if everything, like they start coverage at noon on NBC. It's the 151st running of the Ponies. If every race goes on time, but it's a mud pit at Churchill Downs. It's been raining for the past couple of days there, and so I understand NBC's trying to get to the primetime spot. So if you do 6:57, you still get like the 7 o'clock hour as people watching because it's 2 minutes. So 6:57's post time. Gentlemen, start your engines. 59, 58, 59. You're running the race. You're back, in by 7 o'clock. You're putting the flowers on the horse at 7:02. You're getting post race breakdown. I get it from NBC's standpoint.
Where are you on a
I just wish it were earlier in the afternoon.
What's wrong with 6?
Do it at 3 o'clock, please.
Why?
It just that the start time feels too late for a 2-minute horse race.
Well, a lot of I can understand that. A lot of people like back. So obviously, I grew up in a horse racing family. Like they bet on this type of stuff. This was it for them. Like they love to bet on this stuff in Cleveland, Thistledown or Northfield.
Oh, they
Park.
love to bet on it everywhere.
Okay, so it was 2 ways that this day was going to go for me. It was either my father was going to go up to the Thistledown, the racetrack, and put his bet in and come back, or we was going to be up there all day. That was your 2 options. And for a lot of my life, we was up there all day. So I'm used to this. 7 o'clock, that's like, okay, I still got, and it's the weekend too. That means I'm staying up till like 12.
It's the only time of the year I will tune into horse racing. Like unless there's a Triple Crown that comes from this. Journalism's your betting favorite. Bob Baffert had 2 horses. Rodriguez was scratched yesterday. Citizen Bull's in the 1 spot, a 20-1 favorite. I'm rooting for Baffert because he's the bad boy of the sport, and it makes it interesting for me. Because otherwise it would be just
Chunks of Gold.
Yeah,
I picked it yesterday. Chunks of Gold.
Okay, it's a good name.
That's why I went with it.
Citizen Bull's fitting for a Baffert horse. I mean, he got banned for doping, but he claims he didn't do it. He didn't dope the horses. And he'll be on. Actually, Mike Tirico's going to interview him in their pre-race coverage. And I'm hoping
he doped the horses?
Well, allegedly.
This is as bad as Ryan Garcia in his thing in boxing about doping. And he lost last night for anybody that pays attention to boxing.
What did he lose?
Let me give you the background.
Okay.
So Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney about a year or 2 ago.
For what?
Boxing.
I understand that, but for what?
I don't know.
Welterweight, heavyweight.
I'm proud. They are lightweight. I think they are.
What's his name again?
This is Ryan Garcia. Okay. He wins the fight. He was the underdog. He wins the fight against Devin Haney, and shocks the world. Then it comes out that he used steroids. So he had like a bad urine sample. And he swears that he didn't. But make a long story short, after some legal stuff, it comes out he was deemed that he did do it. And it scrubbed Devin Haney's only loss. So now he's back to having 0 losses.
So they did this in Times Square last night?
So last night was his first fight, Ryan Garcia's first fight since the incident.
He pulled up in the Mel Gibson Batmobile.
He went up against Rowley, and Rowley knocked him down and won in decision at the end. So he's lost. So now it's like, maybe you really was on steroids. To where Devin Haney won. Last night, for boxing fans, if you're a boxing fan, last night, last night, and Sunday is like 3 great nights of boxing. Like a lot of top boxers are boxing. So
are they doing it all in Times Square? Do you know?
I don't know if it's all at Times Square. I know Canelo fight tonight. So if Canelo fighting, the world stops because they have to watch.
The boxing for so long has been without a true star.
Yeah. So
Canelo's been close, but it's with fighting it with combat sports. Like you lose a fight and everybody kind of forgets about you.
And that's sad. You know whose fault it is? Floyd. Floyd had that 50-0 record
and he threw 2 punches.
I think Rocky had a 49-0 record. And it was just like
Sylvester Stallone Rocky?
No.
Okay.
Rocky Marciano. I think that the problem is people seeing those 2 fighters, and it's like now you got people ducking and dodging people like, okay, you're the best in my weight class, I'm the best in my weight class, but we're not going to fight each other because one of us don't want to take a loss. And like that kind of watered boxing down to where you got people ducking and dodging guys. But as of lately, for the most part, guys are starting to put that to the side and they're starting to actually take these fights. So it's starting to get its spark back a little bit, but it's not going to ever get back to like Mike Tyson days and things like that.
Has the sport and the actual boxers, have they been galvanized by the Paul brothers coming in and kind of doing their circus act?
I don't think they galvanized.
To where you want to be perfect.
A lot of them say that they don't mind it because it brings more eyes to the sport.
It's true.
So Like they don't care about that. But obviously, he's not gonna fight them.
No,
He's not gonna
waste
fight-
his time.
'cause
He
if they
dance around them. It's a professional.
He would probably lose. So yeah, it's not. They're not mad about it at all.
Do you think, and I'm going to ask you the question, but I don't want you to answer it right now, will Texas get the Ohio State treatment in 2025? That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Grocery shopping is a good deal better with the Meijer 7 for 7 sale. Pay just $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more participating items. Save big on everything you need for a complete family meal, including assorted Meijer frozen vegetables, select varieties of Campbell's condensed soup, Meijer pasta and pasta sauce, and Ben & Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Family-friendly meals and low prices. That's the happy shopper good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Reds kicked off their series with the Washington Nationals last night with a 6-1 win. The Nats had no answer for Hunter Green on the mound as he threw 6 innings, allowed 2 hits, and struck out 12 with the second highest total of his major league career. As for the Guardians, they lost a tight one to the Blue Jays 5-3, and All-Star Jose Ramirez left the game in the third inning with an ankle injury after he was struck in the back by a throw from pitcher Chris Bassett as he ran out an infield single. The injury has been ruled a mild right ankle sprain. They both go again later today. In the NBA, the Rockets kept their season alive last night, forcing a Game 7 against the Warriors. That will be played on Sunday back in Houston. As for today, Game 7 between the Nuggets and Clippers. Tip-off is at 7:30. The winner will meet the Thunder in the next round. And the greatest 2 minutes of sports, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby, will be later today as well. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. Eric Reeser, Tyvis Powell, here for a good time, not a long time. Buddy, I'm sad that this is coming to an end, but I am thrilled for what's coming up next for you.
Yeah.
Starting Monday, May 12th.
Well, I get to still...
T-Bone and Tyvis, 6 to 9 a.m. on the Fan.
Well, I still get to call in and talk to Bo.
I mean, you could sit in and talk to Bo.
I could.
Your phone isn't reliable. We had that goof.
That was one time.
Well, I don't... Again, a good producer that I think I am would not allow it to happen again.
That was
I'm just gonna, if you want to come on the Lifestyle, Leisure, and Sports Show weekdays 9 to noon, you have to be in a chair in here.
Well, then you better catch me. It can't be on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Okay, because you're in Cleveland for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
You'll have to catch me for the first or second segment.
Okay. What's going to end up happening is I think you're going to have Bo on at the end of your program, you and T-Bone.
Yeah, but
and that's how you will.
Bo might want to ask me a question.
He will, I'd hope.
But he will probably want to ask me for his show.
Maybe.
Y'all show.
Well, no, you were right the first one.
No,
you were
y'all
right the first
show.
one. It's okay.
Y'all show.
The Rock said it best. Know your role.
I liked being part of the and Friends. I wanted to be
You're always part of the Friends.
Like we was like the Three Musketeers. You, and Baker.
The best way it was said, the friends are the listeners. So as long as you are listening, you are a friend. Baker and I just work there.
That's cute.
Thank you. Sometimes we have, we have little cutesy moments. Stan in the YouTube chat. Who did Reeser bark at earlier to shut off their phone? Oh, it was Tyva's.
Oh yeah, because I was trying to see if I could record.
It was my fault because I had asked you.
Yeah,
there's a video of him racing one of his Big Ten Network counterparts in a 40-yard dash. This was last year, the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. But Oregon played Penn State.
Oregon, right. And so Tyvis was saying this race where it was Kenyon Barner, former Oregon running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were you guys were in business casual attire because you just come off your TV hit.
No, this was before
This was before before the show.
Yeah.
So before you were going on, you decided to race each other and you smoked him.
Yes.
And you're using that video of you two in business casual, two athletes past their athletic peak, as proof that you, in fact, could, in a Major League Baseball game, steal second from first base.
What I was saying is, this is the last.
That's how fast I am.
This is, you can still see, all right, he still got some juice to him. Like people look at me and be like, oh, you put on 35 pounds. There's no way that you're still fast. And I'm like, no, I still got some juice.
I don't doubt you're still fast.
All right, then. That's all it's about timing.
You are fast enough.
Oh, wow. But Jose is?
Jose's an all-star baseball player, man. In the peak of his athletic prime.
Look at this. See, look, that guy. You think that guy's faster than me?
I know he is.
Look at him.
So it's what, Jared?
Look at him.
Jared Duran from the Red Sox.
Are you serious?
No, so that's rounding third and getting the gear and stealing and steal home. But
too. I would have got there.
No. I do not think so. But fortunately, fortunately.
Will you tell them that I will make it to second base?
All right, Kevin's on your side. He says, I bet Tyvis could run sub 4.6 right now.
Thank you.
Could you do it on a fastball, or would you need it to be a breaking pitch?
We gonna treat it like a regular game. It don't matter what it is.
Bo Naylor would gun you down at second if you tried to. Yes, he would.
No, he would not. If I did it on a fastball, it'd be even more impressive. Like, oh, yeah, you really do got some juice.
Again, fortunately, we have connections to where we can try to make this happen. So in the next couple of months, let's see what we can do. And it can't be during the Major League Baseball season, but I would even venture the guess that the Clippers would have four guys. We'd put in the first baseman, second baseman, pitcher, catcher, maybe the shortstop. We put them out there and we try this.
You think that
9 times out of 10 you would fail. You might get them once.
You know the movie Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
You know how he'd be like, in so many universes, this is what happens.
Right, of all the possibilities. Yeah.
Every universe that I see it in is me safe. Everyone.
Wow.
There's not one universe.
I'm going to do the reverse to where he's putting the one finger up to Iron Man. Only one outcome. Millions of probabilities.
We're not going to put we're going to do what Johnny Manziel did when they asked him how much film did he watch. 0. 0 possibility that I won't dare.
That's not the case.
Speaking of this topic, what was your response to Braxton when he was body shaming you on Twitter a few weeks ago?
I started to do more abs.
I'm not a fan of Braxton because he shoved you away from an interception one time in a preseason
Yeah, he
game.
did. He's a hater. Braxton is a hater, but it is what it is. He mad that I'm 250 and I still look like I'm 220. Like, that's what he mad that I wear my weight well.
Because you're tall.
He's jealous.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's Braxton carrying around at?
It's a good question. I should ask. I should have asked him.
Look, yeah, you always look at the man in the mirror, right?
Like, what you up here talking about me? It ain't like you like 215.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't know. You'd have to ask.
I'm gonna have to. I should tweet him and ask him.
Kirk Bowles writes for the Houston Chronicle. He covers the Texas Longhorn football program, and according to Kirk's reporting, Texas football budget is estimated to be between $35 and $40 million for the 2025 season.
Must be nice.
That's the going rate in college football, though. It was
it's not it's the going rate of like
of the highest programs in the sport.
I'm not gonna sit there and tell me Toledo is doing $40 million.
No, you're right. The teams that have a legitimate shot for a national championship, that's the price. And it was only every Saturday, it felt like last season, the $20 million roster for Ohio State was brought up. Whichever network you were watching, whichever show was doing Ohio State.
That's a lazy take, though.
Well, I wonder if Texas is going to get that same treatment this year.
I forget
a $40 million Longhorn roster.
It was somebody national. I want to say it might have been. It was either
Desmond did it a lot.
It was no.
Herbstreit shut him down in the college football playoff.
It was either Emmanuel Acho or Robert Griffin III.
Well, lazy takes and Emmanuel Acho go hand in hand.
Like, they just kept saying, like, yeah, they should do this. They have a $20 million. They have the best budget and thing. And I'm like,
I think it was Acho.
If you do a little research,
he had a bad Will Howard take, and then Will Howard did what he did in the playoff, and then Acho said, "You changed my mind."
Oh yeah, he said he's the worst quarterback out of the six.
Despite seeing Drew Aller play football, or Kevin Jennings.
A lot of people are just they believe the hype.
So it goes back to my question: do you think Texas will get that treatment?
No.
You don't think every time the Longhorns play a game, you'll have ESPN or Fox saying the $40 million Longhorn roster?
No, I think they will say that.
I do too. I do think so too.
I take it back because
it's
now that you say it,
it's sticker shock,
they're
right?
They're going to say that.
So it was a couple years ago. We were out at Muirfield, and Ryan Day, in front of a group of business leaders, told him, "I need $13 million to keep this roster together." And I think that was back in 2022.
I thought he said
2023, maybe. And we
might have been 22.
Everybody was surprised. Like, whoa, $13 million for a roster. That's crazy.
I thought he said 15. It might be 13. Now, go ahead.
But then that was just the first time it had been, you'd put a number on a roster.
And look where we are.
And people were shocked. And then all of a sudden, it's the $20 million Ohio State roster. And even though Oregon and Texas last season spent more on their rosters, I just think putting that number on a roster where we'd never done that before, it
sounds crazy to say out loud. Like, $40 million? You mean to tell me you got all these players and you paying them together $40 million? Like, that does sound crazy for guys that never got a penny before. But the market's changed. I mean, like, the thing is, the number's going to continue to go up because of the success and all the people that's so invested in it. Like, for once, it's like fans actually can make a difference. Like, as far as if I contribute a couple dollars, like, that's going to help us be able to go get this guy that we really want. Like that matters. And fans realize the value that they have. And for teams that are schools that have a fan base like Texas or Oregon, or well, not maybe Oregon. Oregon got Phil Knight, so that's why his is. But for like us in Texas, like, that's very passionate about their schools. Those they're going to open up their checkbooks because they want to continue to see them in that light. So it probably is only going to go up.
Well, and for Oregon and for Texas, it's desperation because Phil Knight wants a title in Eugene before he goes.
Yeah,
and so there's desperation there. And similarly with Texas. They have this Arch Manning window that has 1-2 years, maybe. Like, they got an all-time quarterback. They think they have an all-time quarterback. So you've got to go. From Kirk Bowles reporting in this, Arch Manning's by far the highest paid Texas player, but he doesn't take a dime from the school. He and his family acquired all of his deals on their own with no help from Texas and the Texas Collective, which the Texas One Fund is their primary football collective.
Really?
The $40 million, and that doesn't surprise me because of the connections with the Mannings.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
The family has enough connections, and they've probably got enough money, too, where he doesn't need to dip into that pot, but he needs that pot to be allocated properly. Because you can talk about Nico Iamaleava and at Tennessee. You can talk about what Michigan's going to try to do with their $10.5 million quarterback. The money's there, we think, for most of these big boy programs. It's all about the allocation.
I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is trying to, especially, with the revenue sharing, like that's going to be a touchy subject because it's, especially at Ohio State, you got 36 sports and you trying to pay all 36. Like if you trying to pay all 36, obviously that's going to take a lot away from other people to where other schools or other schools don't have to deal with that because they don't have 36 varsity sports. So there's going to be some big decisions there, but how do you know, okay, it's amazing to me for like a guy like Mark Pantoni, how can you look at a guy and be like, you know what, that guy's worth $2 million. That guy's worth $500,000. Like, how do you know that? And like, then how do you get the kid to agree with that? Like, especially
if another school is saying, what are they paying you? Well, what about more?
That to me, that's what makes the GM job so fascinating
and so necessary.
Yeah, because like you got to say, hey, this is what it is. This is what your value is. And then even if somebody else comes and says, we'll give you $100,000 more, you have to be so good to be like, yeah, you could go there, but like, we're going to help you get to where you want to go. Like, so like that, it's a lot that goes into that stuff. And I give Pantoni and all GMs in college football credit because I would pull my hair out.
So Ryan Day has been doing a media tour since January 20th, it feels like, when Ohio State won the national championship. He sat down with CBS Sports. It was Josh Pate, formerly of CBS Sports, but Josh Pate came to Columbus and did an interview with Ryan Day where he asked him about that $20 million roster and the narrative that comes with it. You'll hear Ryan Day defend the notion of paying 4 rosters coming up next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes who are going above and beyond in their communities. Newman Roofing wants to recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in their towns to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Stay tuned as we begin announcing the selected honorees who truly embody the spirit of Newman Roofing's commitment to community.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh yeah, Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here with a challenge. Well, a challenge might not be the best choice of words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, doesn't it? 40 by the 4th. Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th of July? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the 260 number be a little nicer on your eyes and on your knees?
It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in just 8 weeks. There's no reason you can't drop 40 by the 4th and be feeling as great as I still do now. Ring Independence Day in healthy, confident, and most important, feeling happy. You reached your goal with the help of Awaken 180. So fire up your grill and grab your beverage of choice because the weight's staying off thanks to free support for life. 40 by the 4th. Set your goal and reach it. Reserve your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Saving money on your outdoor project now at Menards. We have everything you need to keep your outdoor power equipment running smooth so you can keep that lawn in tip-top shape or enjoy some time on your boat. Right now, all FVP lawn and garden and marine batteries are on sale. Check out our entire selection of FVP batteries today and view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are expecting cloudy skies and scattered rain showers as we go throughout the day today. Temperatures around 60, cooling down to the 50s here for tonight, with more rain showers possible during the overnight hours. And then we'll see the chance for rain showers again here on our Sunday. A few thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon with highs into the 60s, and the rain chances will continue into Monday and Tuesday with highs in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. Reeser and Tyvis here till 1 o'clock. I hear often that my takes are bad. My sports takes. And we're not here to debate that. I think this one take I'm about to give, everybody can agree with. Reading's important.
Okay.
I'll do you one better. Reading correctly is more important.
Okay.
When I told you that Kevin had said Tyvis could run a sub 4.640 right now, I read it wrong. Kevin says, I bet Tyvis couldn't run sub 4.6 right now.
Well, he's wrong.
No, he's not.
He's wrong.
I do not think you could run sub 4.6 right now.
Today. You don't think I could?
I do not.
I'd actually be up for the challenge. I'd have to stretch, though. Was something that I don't do.
Would have been December, like the first weekend in December for the Big Ten championship game?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last time you've sprinted?
No, I actually sprint in my gym. Like I do so on the track, I do striders. Mm-hmm. So like striders for me is like you run the straight, walk the curb, run the straight. Yeah. Like I do that. And a lot of the times I like really open it up. So like that to me is like I sprint fairly often.
And then Andrew in the YouTube chat says Tyvis is probably faster flat out, but Jose Ramirez is quicker.
I give you that.
Yeah.
I give you that. I wouldn't argue that one. He's shorter than
debatable,
me.
yes.
He's more twitchy than me. Usually shorter guys are twitchier. That was like a thing with me, too, as a DB. It was like, you got to be a little more twitchier.
How do you teach twitchy?
You got to really become more, like, flexible.
So that's stretching?
Yeah. So, like, I used to do a lot of yoga and stuff
But she
that.
didn't stretch.
I didn't.
You didn't?
That's why I wasn't as twitchy as I should have been.
Is that the advice you would... I would say that's advice you give to people. Stretch.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
I see you coming to my side.
It's
That's
unnecessary.
fine. It's not. It's very necessary. Especially the older
you get older, yes, it's necessary. But like in my prime of my life, like it was a waste of time.
Unnecessary, gratuitous, I would say, was the amount of times that media types flaunted Ohio State's $20 million roster. And my response always to it was, well, you're a poverty program that needs to step it up.
Yes.
It's all legal now. There's no salary cap. There's no amount of money you have to spend. There's no amount of money you're allowed to spend. You can spend it all.
That's fair.
Get it all if you are serious about competing. Now, Ohio State was third this year behind, I think it was Texas, then Oregon, for most amount of money for NIL deals for their roster. Who won the national championship? But who was involved in the college football playoff? It was three of those teams. So there's a correlation, right? This is the game you have to play. There should be nothing wrong for Oregon, for Texas, for Ohio State to pay what you need to pay to get the best roster in college football. And you shouldn't have to apologize for it.
I wish that, like, the way you get to that roster, though, like.
Well, there's a difference because of what Ohio State did in bringing guys. They didn't have to go out and pay guys.
That's what I'm saying.
They brought back so much talent, but there is a requirement to retain that talent.
But see, I feel like that's why it's not fair to just be like, oh, well, they paid like all this money. But like they paid the money to proven guys that was already on their roster. Like they didn't go out and go get this 5-star quarterback and also a 5-star wide receiver that was in the portal. Like they didn't do that. Like they got, don't get me wrong, they got Caleb Downs out of the portal and Quinshon Junkins. Those are great. But
everybody else was trying to get them too?
Yeah, the core of their team was the key guys that led to them winning it all. And I think that was a massive part of it. Don't get me, Will Howard also came as well. But it wasn't like Will Howard was this, he wasn't Dylan Gabriel or Cam Ward. Who
he was not.
They was actually trying to get as well. Like he wasn't those guys, but he was here with a group of guys that was a solid foundation that they already developed over 3 or 4 years of their career, and they just got some missing pieces that helped take them over the top.
Also, if you're asking how SMU got so good so quickly, there's a correlation.
I'm about to say.
So Josh Pate covers college football for CBS Sports. He does Josh Pate's college football show, and it's really cool how he travels all over the country, talks with coaches in their environment. He was at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. He interviewed Ryan Day and asked him about the notion that Ohio State paid for a national championship.
I think that's where, it's just easy for people to say, well, Ohio State had NIL for this amount of money or whatever that is, and it's just so cheap and so easy for someone to say. But if you actually do the research, and all it does is really tell you the value of an Ohio State football player. When you look at a brand that has, just south of 12 million fans in the city of Columbus with 2 million people and the power of Ohio State, yeah, our guys are going to make a lot of money in NIL. And the truth is, the majority of those guys were all guys that decided to come back, who were already on the team that we've recruited and developed. We did add 6 or 7 guys, but not 15, not 20, where we went out there and just went and got the best players in college football. That wasn't the case. And that's not what won us a championship. I think it's just easy for people just to kind of say that, and just because it's easy and it's cheap. But when you really do your research and you look through it, like, all of these guys had been here multiple years. I'm pretty defensive of that because, these guys who came through here and have scars. I mean, you don't always remember the wins until you win championships. You remember the losses around here. And these guys have some scars along the way, and that's what kept them together throughout the entire road. And so, yeah, I never really got into that or addressed that. But, our guys hear that over and over again, and people around the building with these high expectations, and we're just throwing out numbers like that. But that really didn't affect us in the end because we knew that wasn't the case. It wasn't like we just had the best players money could buy if anyone actually did the research.
If you're hearing that as an Ohio State fan, you should feel really confident about where your program's at.
He should do their research.
He should absolutely be out there saying that as much as possible.
It's a lazy take.
It is.
He's right. If you do your research, like, one, we weren't the highest paid, and two, like, we develop guys here. Like, that's literally the motto, developed here.
Ohio State is the standard for all of it. It's the standard for NFL players. They had 14 that were just drafted. It's the standard for quarterback development. C.J. Stroud. I do think Will Howard's going to acquit himself nicely in the league. Yeah, see how it goes his rookie year.
He's at a great landing spot.
Justin Fields just got $20 million guaranteed from the New York Giants. So say what you want about his quarterback skills and acumen.
I hope he puts it together.
Money's money.
I hope Justin Fields is one of the ones that was like, I was like, yeah, he's going to be good in the league. And the fact that he's given me moments, but he's not been consistent, gives me hope that somebody needs to help get with him and help
That's the biggest thing.
Clear it up.
I think it's the right situation that somebody believes in his abilities enough and wants to help him grow.
Yeah.
Felt like in Chicago, because he was never their guy, that didn't work, and Eberflus was a dummy.
But they did a great job of getting a lot of line protection now and a bunch of weapons.
They've gotten a lot of help around Caleb.
Yeah.
Because I think, and again, this is a different regime, but you understand that the quarterback can only do so much, but you have to have the quarterback. So it's easier said than done.
I mean, Caleb Williams is a really good player. I mean,
he is. But he can't do it by himself.
There's no denying the arm talent, and I'm not mad at Chicago for moving on from Justin because I get how you could be so enamored with Caleb Williams' ability.
But you have to give him help.
And they've done
a good enough job.
They've done a lot in these past 2 years as far as offensive line this past year, and obviously they hit well in the draft.
With the Steelers, it felt like it was never a serious
and if they get
chance.
If they get Nick Chubb, Chicago get Nick Chubb, ooh-wee.
So that makes me sad as a Browns fan.
I know.
That it's likely done for Chubb in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They restructured the contract of Jerome Ford yesterday just because I think they need money. And so they're trying to find it wherever they can, under every couch cushion they can flip.
He's a rookie. He's on a rookie deal.
Like,
what
again,
more
I think
money can you get from him?
I wonder what the give was to get back, right? If you're asking him to take a pay cut, what are you giving him? So that he feels, whether it's reassurances.
A job. That's what they say here. You
take this or we're going to cut you.
Move it up.
Right?
So if they asking him to take a pay cut, they don't have no money.
They don't have, and that's what it was. The receiver that they signed earlier this week, Deontay Johnson, 3 times last year. Twice. Shipped off by the Steelers, shipped off by the Ravens, and then was bitching about his playing time in the locker room after the Texans won a playoff game. And so they sent his ass packing.
Yeah.
And that's why you sit there and say, why would the Browns take a flyer on him? Because he's going to be cheap. The Browns don't have any money. And they need wide receivers in camp. Like you need to have that you need to have that roster depth in camp.
I don't even know,
but the Browns drafted Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins. So I think Pierre Strong's the other one in their room with Jerome Ford.
Yeah. The wide receiver is like you couldn't after Cedric Tillman, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they take Deontay into the season.
No, I'm saying I can't name. Oh, Thrash, Michael Woods. Is David Bell?
Say it with confidence, and you can't be wrong.
Is David Bell still
You're better
there?
than that. I don't know.
That's my problem with this.
Why is
right?
that?
It's that we can't even really name the wide receivers on the Browns roster.
It's May, dude.
I gotta look it up.
So what? I don't necessarily know the
No,
problem with not knowing every single wide receiver they have rostered.
Just injuries happen.
Because on their website, they've still got Elijah Moore.
No.
They do.
Well, he's not there.
Well, not technically, but
hold on.
None of this means really anything right now. It's like with the question, of the 4 quarterbacks that the Browns have. None of it means much right now because they haven't been into camp.
David Bell breakout year.
You're calling it?
Yep.
You're the one. So we'll probably never check up and see how that goes because it's not going to be too important. Ohio State's going to be taking 3 quarterbacks into the fall. Could there be a fourth for the Buckeyes sometime in the next month? We'll discuss in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So Ryan Day has got the, I would call it enviable task of getting a quarterback ready for Texas. That change. It's enviable to be the head coach at Ohio State, I think. The Texas opponent, the opponent week one, I think changes everything.
Yeah,
for Ohio State's offseason.
Everything.
Yeah.
There is no, well, you know what? Don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll warm up against Grambling State.
Can't do that.
No, it's like, bang, because you could get embarrassed. Georgia embarrassed. Wasn't it last year?
Georgia embarrassed Clemson.
Clemson last year.
Yep.
You can.
Clemson was able to rebound.
Sure,
make the college football
it's
playoff.
not the end of the world if you lose that game.
I think for Ohio State,
you can't lose 3 games during the season anymore.
No, I think for the Buckeyes and even for Texas, because I think there are similar questions for them going into the week one matchup in Columbus. Don't get embarrassed. Don't get blown out.
But they also got more returning.
Sure, but the question at quarterback's still huge for them too.
That's a fact.
Because I am still on the idea that if Arch Manning was that much better than Quinn Ewers last year in the college football semifinal, or if he'd shown them something that Steve Sarkisian thought they weren't getting with Ewers, they would have put Arch Manning in that game. You're trying to win a national championship. Damn what you've told Quinn Ewers in confidence. Damn what you've tried to do to protect Arch Manning. Your window is sometimes open for a while. Sometimes it opens and slams shut in a matter of a year.
Yeah.
Not saying Arch is going to be, a bum, but it's very fair to sit here right now and say, I would rather have for Ohio State Lincoln Kienholz over Arch Manning as a Buckeye starting quarterback. I think that's a fair thing to say right now. Because if his name wasn't Arch Manning, would he be as ballyhooed?
Would he?
Would there be as much pomp and circumstance?
So strip the name off, but we did see him in the 2 games. And,
we did,
and he looked pretty good.
He's good, but he's a quarterback.
You'd be more. If his name was Joe Blow, you still be more confident in Joe Blow.
He's a quarterback
because the last time
over Lincoln Kienholz.
Yeah, because the last time you seen Lincoln,
I would just argue
we don't talk about
that
it
because Lincoln's had time in the system. that would put him head and shoulders above Arch, not in Ohio State system. I guess I asked that question poorly. If you told me for Ohio State, who would you rather have, Arch Manning or Lincoln Kienholz?
Yeah, all right. Say it like that. I thought you were saying like
that's a bad job out of me.
Going out there in the game, who would you rather have? And I'm like, well, Arch played.
But if you were to ask that question and say, all right, who would you rather have against Georgia?
For a Ryan Day system?
Sure.
I mean, it's not Lincoln ain't no bum.
No.
Julian ain't no bum.
You're a quarterback at Ohio State and Texas. You're not a bum.
Correct.
Let's take that off the table because I hear a lot of people go, "Oh, this quarterback room has a lot of talent for both Ohio State and Texas." Yeah, and water's wet, grass is green. And you're at Ohio State. You have talent.
And Arch Manning's name is Joe Blow.
Right. For me, it changes the whole thing. Right. It makes it so, and this is probably. Not probably. This is, I believe, Julian Sain's job to lose in camp because of what I saw from the spring game.
Mm-hmm.
I know Lincoln made it a very competitive spring, and I think that's the best thing for this team is to have two quarterbacks who, with the guys in that locker room, you can build confidence in. To where if Julian goes down and you have to, in case of emergency, break glass, all right, Lincoln, and you're not missing a beat.
That'll be the easiest thing. Like a lot of Buckeye Nation will be like, all right, Lincoln is.
Yep.
If Julian does start and he did go down and Lincoln went in, like people will be like, oh, we're fine. Like that's the beauty about this. It's like, oh, we're fine. Whoever starts, if one of them got hurt and the other one had to go in, we'd be fine. But in this situation, I'm still pondering this thought. If Arch Manning's name was Joe Blow and he was in the running for Ohio State, like he just came in this year, I think I still would go with Joe Blow because of the experience.
Because there's game experience.
Exactly.
I agree. Okay.
That's the only thing. And
I
obviously,
see your point.
If you talk to the coaching staff this year or in the spring, that's what all they talked about is how we don't have that experience. We're very young, very inexperienced. And that's why they're expediting everything. That's why they're revving things up because they're trying to get them as many reps as possible. So when they get to Texas, it's not foreign to them. Like, oh, what is this? Like, so from an experience standpoint, although it's only 2 games, and obviously he came in a couple other games, but it's only 2 starts, that does still mean something.
And that's why I wonder for Julian, in this quarterback competition with Lincoln, if while under the pressure of practice, Lincoln performed better than Julian in those practice environments at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. But then in a stadium, now 40,000 fans isn't nothing to shake your head at.
Mm-hmm.
In a stadium without coaches 2 feet behind you, critiquing every single thing you do, Julian thrived better in that environment.
Maybe he's more of a gamer.
Maybe.
And if that's the case, that's probably going to win.
That's what you want. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have Ryan Day standing behind you against Texas.
Yeah.
Like, you might not even hear from him.
I think that's
Brian Hartline.
That's why I think it was some sound of Ryan Day talking about, Lincoln was winning in the spring, but Julian's spring game kind of closed the gap.
Potentially what I'm about to play for you now.
My guess is they're going to need each other. We're going to need Tavian to come as well. He's got to be able to help. It's going to be a long season. We're not talking about, someone like Will, who's, a 5th-year senior, who's, 22, 23 years old, who's just been around, that was a long run he went on, so we need depth in that room.
You need the depth to push each other every day.
Yeah.
And you do have some time before Texas. You don't have a lot of time. It's going to be here before anybody knows it. But there's still time to work on these guys to get them both ready in any situation for the Longhorns.
And I think that's why you see so much, back and forth, confusion. It's just not very much a science, even when you get to the NFL and the draft process, because these guys haven't played a lot of football. And so you don't know where they are. You don't know always how to compare where they've played to where they need to play, the types of throws that need to be made. So I think about this a lot. And Tavian, needs to get as many of those reps as he can. We've tried in the past, the virtual reality, where when I was in San Francisco, we would actually, have people, simulate defenses, simulate blitzes so they could stand in there. We'd actually put the turf down and they'd have the VR and they'd be going through the reads, and it wasn't the same. It was just not the same when a 320-pound guy is trying to rip your head off in front of you. It's just not the same.
Did you ever see that when you were in San Francisco or any time in the NFL, the VR headset training?
I didn't do the VR, but they did have a room where they put the board where you stand in the middle and they put defensively, they put the offense up and you had to make your calls and things like that. And then they push play and like that was it. But I never the VR thing. That'd have been pretty cool though. But like for safety, like it's different than a quarterback.
Right.
Like, all I need to do is see what's about to happen. If I got a good idea of what's about to happen, like I can go prevent it. To where a quarterback, like they can figure out what defense, but if they offensive tackle get beat, like that, there ain't no plan.
How concerned, if at all, are you that Ohio State's not added a quarterback from the transfer portal?
I thought that they would get like a veteran guy in there, just to try to walk some of these younger guys through it, but I think that for the most part, like the best way to do it is to do it. Even if they brought in a guy that was a fifth-year guy, he could tell them all day long. But until they get out there, that's the only way you're gonna get better. So,
and there's still time. Like I know the portal is closed, but it doesn't mean for the players that are still in the transfer portal that they can't jump out and find a home. Like. There's still, and I'll find the number in the break, exactly how many players that On3 says are in the transfer portal.
I can't believe.
It's staggering. I think it'll be staggering compared to the number of players that went in.
I couldn't imagine being a player that went in there and never finds a home.
It has to be a horrible feeling. And it does go to the old adage, the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence.
I think that, to be honest with you, if I was playing, that would be the scariest part for me. I'm not going to.
A lot of unknowns in college football right now. You hear Ryan Day's thoughts on some more of the CFB unknowns and then some of the portal persons that they plucked in this offseason coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 11th, that one very special day when you can show Mom how much you appreciate everything she's done for you. What says love and appreciation more than a beautiful flowering gift from Oakland Nursery? Hanging baskets exploding with spring color, hand-potted roses in thousands of varieties, and lovely annuals for a beautiful garden. Show your love and appreciation for Mom with a trip to Oakland Nursery. For 85 years, moms throughout Central Ohio have looked forward to Mother's Day gifts from Oakland Nursery.
Want to learn about Pick 4 from the Ohio Lottery? Okay, Pick 4 is a daily draw game where you pick 4 individual numbers between 0 and 9 that can be played straight, where each number must be drawn in an exact order or box where they can be drawn in any order. You can win up to $2,500 on a 50-cent bet. Learn more at OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want to go back to the radio? Okay.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My guys and gals at Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. They are your Central Ohio dealer for Weaver Barns. They are the leaders when it comes to getting a barn or structure for your property. Maybe you need a garage, a little tiny one, or one with living spaces and a workshop and everything. Get a garage so nice you could live in it. That's what I do. I live in my garage. No, I don't. Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. Or go to AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Promo code LIVE in your garage. Not really.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 five-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks, where collectors win big.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Sick of the long security lines and flight delays? Travel on your terms. Go RVing and get ready to save at RCD RV's Open House. From May 3rd through the 10th, take advantage of huge deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Our Delaware, Heath, and Pataska locations will feature exclusive sale pricing on all new and pre-owned travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes with special financing rates available, plus discounts on camping accessories. Come by today. We'll have you road ready by Memorial Day. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
The unenviable task for Ryan Day, in my opinion, has been trying to figure out college football. Not the X's and O's on the field, but the changes that are happening at a breakneck pace. Feels like every other day there's something that's different about the sport from the previous.
Yes.
And when he goes into this fall, there's not going to be an expanded college football playoff. That'll probably happen in 2026 college football season. But this past season was the longest in recent memory, where you play 17 games, you start the season in late August, you end the season in late January. And then 2 months later, you got to roll out for spring ball.
That's a long year.
So you're throwing so much stuff at the wall to try to see what sticks. And so far, so good.
Yeah. Yes. But now this is his first time. Okay. We did all of those things. We lost a lot. Now I'm tasked with trying to celebrate that, but also trying to get them ready for next year. And it's a fine line. Like, am I overworking these guys or am I not working them enough? And I think that's the panic right now. It's like, how do we get them? Because they're young. So how do I get them ready? And I know they just came off of a season where they played 17 games and we had those extra practices, and that was great. But we were trying to win a game with that group of guys. We were catering to that group of guys. Now I'm trying to cater to this group of guys, and they're behind. So I think for him moving forward, maybe he has to have some of those days where, like Coach Meyer did, where we did if guys didn't play in the game, that Sunday practice, he'd have like a little 6-period padded practice just to get those guys game reps, like to try to get them going. And maybe Ryan Day has to evaluate it like, all right, so the guys that's not playing, let me do that, have like a little mini game with them so I can try to get them game reps instead of them, just coming in, letting the ones and twos do their thing and then being done. Sneak some extra reps for those young guys in there.
Because you heard him talking about it, and we played a couple cuts in the last segment of just getting Lincoln and Julian as many reps as possible. But also without burning them out or risking them injury. And that can be copied and pasted to every position group.
Yeah.
Right? The only two guys you don't need to see any of is Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. Everybody else, you got to get your work in.
Yeah.
But you've got to also do it while staying healthy and not getting burned out.
But you also don't want to just sit there and then not get reps either.
Of course.
Like, you got to be smart with it. If you feel like if you something getting tight, all right, I ain't taking this rep. Like, you got to be a pro. You got to know your body.
So Ryan Day, when he just, it was like a Tuesday night. I think they sent out an email that, hey, Ryan Day is going to speak on Wednesday. And it's been for him like a fire hydrant with that program. Like, they are every single week almost providing you with something.
Yeah.
And it's so important to do, as he's the CEO, the front-facing role of this company, Ohio State football.
He's made Ohio State be very likable.
Yeah.
And accessible. Even the big-time guys, they don't come off as...
Jim Harbaugh was awful at it at Michigan. Urban.
Yeah.
Wasn't friendly. Wasn't the most friendly, I should say.
So it's like, when you look at it like, all right, these guys give us access. Like, they let us talk, and we can talk to this player. We can talk to that coach. Like, you tend to write more positive things, and it's putting them in such a positive light that it helps with recruiting.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. Like, how cool is this as a recruiting pitch for a guy that comes to the spring game? You come to the spring game, you watch this team practice or play in the game. You watch the other team, the team before that, get their rings. And then there's the kicker. When you're done playing, you go work for the Big Ten. We got Tyvus sitting right here who played here on the Big Ten.
Full circle.
Doing the sideline report. So it's like, it literally can showcase what a career at Ohio State can do for you in one visit.
Developed here is a cool slogan, but it's also the truth.
Yes.
And for Ryan Day, who saw 14 of his players get drafted, I think 3 more were UFAs. Like, if Seth McLaughlin doesn't tear his Achilles.
No, he was like a second, third.
He's drafted.
Pick.
I mean,
yeah.
the guy won the Remington. I mean, so the idea that you have all of this with this program at this time in college athletics, when, like I said, changes are happening all the time. July 1. Revenue sharing's coming. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the one sticking point they've got right now is roster limits. And I know Ryan Day had talked about that earlier this week, where it's probably going to be 105.
Yeah.
Now, that means scholarships can be whatever. You can have full, partial, half. Collectives can come in and offset some of that cost. Like, it's truly, you need an accountant almost to figure out where all of this money's going to go, who's getting full, who's getting partial, who's getting from the university, and then where can we come in and supplement where where companies want to help out pay, Jeremiah Smith half of his tuition. Like, the discussions are happening, and then it's going to go live on July 1. Oh yeah, go beat Texas on August 30th.
They got 2 months to figure this out.
So here's Ryan from earlier in the week talking about what needs to happen for his team on the football field and in terms of the X's and O's between now and that Texas game on the 30th of August.
We have these different phases right now. I'd like to see these guys get out of here and get away from football for a little bit. Classes started for us during the Texas week. So if that gives you any idea of how much break they got. So we got right into winter workouts, right into spring practice. They did have a little bit of a break for spring break, but these guys need to get around their families a little bit and get away from football. But then once classes start up again, we got to go. We got to have a great summer. Everybody knows what they need to do this summer in terms of with Coach Mick in the weight room, in terms of getting better individually as players. And then, once August hits, it's got to be a great camp, as we know, because of our first opponent. So that's going to get ramped up real quick. So we need a great summer. And that's obviously a big part of that's in the weight room. You guys have heard me talk about guys being gold or being Iron Buckeyes. There's a reason why Jeremiah Smith was the first Iron Buckeye ever as a freshman. He saw what happened, right? So there's a correlation to the summer that they have and how they play on the field, and they know that. They bought in. I think that's really important. Our guys do understand how important what goes on in the summer, what goes on in the weight room, impacts on the field. So that part of it, and then Mick will do a good job of creating conflict and then figuring out who the leaders are. That'll be big, and then having that synergy within the team.
How important is it for these players to kind of get away from football?
You don't want to get burned down on it. Obviously this is definitely the biggest difference between a Ryan Day and an Urban. Urban, it was 24/7. Get away. What is that? Get away? I wish. You wish you could take a week off. But I think for Ryan Day, he does a great job of getting these guys to hit the reset button. All right, we did that. It was hard. All right, let's hit a reset button. All right, let's get back after it again. And I think that's good because you don't get burnt out with it. And I do believe what he said about, in the summer workouts really factor into the season. Like you learn the leaders, you learn who's going to be you could depend on. That's a fact. I literally watched that happen. Like
that creating conflict line.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like the guys that thrive in summer workouts, because it's hot. It's a lot of running. Strength training is what it is. And Coach Mick definitely hit you with some stuff. And you be looking like, are you for real? Like, you really about to make us do this? So, when you get those guys that's vocal leaders that help you push through it, because you do have that feeling sometimes where it's like, I really don't feel like doing this. But you don't want to let that guy down, or that other guy is saying some good stuff that motivates you. That's when you get to the season, those are the type of guys that you kind of look to like, all right, where you at? And they usually step up in a big way. So I will be interested to see who those guys are in the summer.
I had said for a lot of portal persons that be careful with thinking the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes.
For Bo Atkinson, I wonder if he's found the greenest grass compared to what he's come from.
Not talking about this.
Oh, no, we're going to talk about it next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get Eco.
ECO.
Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO.
And then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give the money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfox from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah?
Tire Discounters. And your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it. Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. When you leave a job, don't leave your 401k. Grow your investment without the fees associated with 401k plans. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch. Landscape Supply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Reds kicked off their series with the Washington Nationals last night with a 6-1 win. The Nats had no answer for Hunter Green on the mound as he threw 6 innings, allowed 2 hits, and struck out 12 with the second highest total of his major league career. As for the Guardians, they lost a tight one to the Blue Jays 5-3, and All-Star Jose Ramirez left the game in the 3rd inning with an ankle injury after he was struck in the back by a throw from pitcher Chris Bassett as he ran out an infield single. The injury has been ruled a mild right ankle sprain. They both go again later today. In the NBA, the Rockets kept their season alive last night, forcing a Game 7 against the Warriors. That will be played on Sunday back in Houston. As for today, Game 7 between the Nuggets and Clippers. Tip-off is at 7:30. The winner will meet the Thunder in the next round. And the greatest 2 minutes of sports, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby, will be later today as well. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. You heard Jacob Reimer in the update. Reds baseball on The Fan. Tonight against the Washington Nationals. It's game 2 of their 3-game set. First pitch 6:40, 6:10. We're going to send you down to Ohio's Queen City. Yeah, the Guardians fell to the Blue Jays last night. I
hope their game don't get rained out.
Yeah, rain in the forecast.
I think Matty Ice is supposed to be going there.
You going for that?
Yeah, I think he said he was going down there with the wife and friends.
It'll be fun if it doesn't get rained out. But yeah, you're dealing with rain throughout the forecast today, tomorrow, parts of next week. I think it's supposed to be drier towards the end of next week, which is good for all of you metalheads out there as Sonic Temple approaches.
I want to know
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I want to know, how does 3-6 Mafia fit in with rock and metal?
You know, it doesn't. But it's just music, man. So it's not that big of a deal. Like it's
an outlier.
Not that deep. Yeah. They are. 3-6 Mafia is an outlier, yes.
I'm not complaining.
Whether it's Project Pat and Juicy J or however many.
Is they all going to be there?
Several iterations of 3-6 Mafia. I think
if Juicy J and Project Pat,
that's kind of you just need them.
Yeah.
So Lord Infamous, but
DJ Paul.
I'm going the way in the weeds. DJ Paul's, yeah.
If they ain't got them, then you can't do that. Like you know what I'm saying.
I think you just have Juicy J. People be like, okay.
Juicy J is a key part of it.
He's the key because he's the one everybody identifies with 3-6 most.
Him and Project Pat.
I never thought I'd be having a legitimate rap discussion with you. 2025. I'm probably the least qualified person to do.
Him and Project Pat, DJ Paul. I think them 3.
Now the Insane Clown Posse makes absolute sense for Sonic Temple. Like 3-6 and Insane Clown Posse. Those were 2 late additions, but they're both playing at 10 o'clock on their respective evenings. And I know that this was a thing. They had like a noise ordinance in effect to where concerts had to be out at a certain time, but I'm not sure that's the case anymore, especially if they're putting 3-6 Mafia on. Would it have been Friday or Saturday night at 10 o'clock? And Metallica. And Korn. And Linkin Park.
Korn's at 9.
So hopefully the weather holds up for that, and hopefully the weather holds up today for Matty Ice and company when they're in Cincinnati, but you can hear Reds baseball on The Fan tonight. They don't have to worry about rain in Toronto. They're playing in a dome. The Guardians and the Blue Jays, 3:07 for the first pitch there. I was checking in. I was popping in and out of Game 6 last night between the Warriors and the Rockets. Mm-hmm. Houston wins 115-107. They force Game 7 in Houston Sunday night at 8 o'clock, only because that game and the outcome of it determines when the Cavs play Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Pacers. That'll be 6 o'clock. Both of those games will be on TNT and Max. So if you know a friend who has that app, you can access NBA games. So find your nicest friend.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. I know a really great human that reportedly Max, Netflix, like they're all asking that if you're going to share passwords, you pay this premium a month. Like I think it's like $7 for Max. I think it's like 10 for Netflix. Like you can allow to share it. You can share it to up to 1 or 5 accounts, but I don't think they're policing it. And I guess now that I say it, I'm going to jinx myself.
Yeah. Yep. But you better hope it's after The Last of Us is done.
Are you in on that?
Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? What did you think after episode 2 of season 2? Or no, I forget which episode it was, but season 2, the last episode.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
You talking about 3? Episode 3 or 2?
Is it episode 3?
You talking about the big,
yeah.
That was 2.
Okay.
That was 2. When I thought about it, I was like, oh, yeah, wow. Because I played the game, but like the first part of the game, not the entire.
I played the second one.
See,
so I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense.
It took me back like it took the rest of the world.
Pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, my favorite part was the scene before that, leading up to that, was the running. Mm-hmm. Her running. I was like, oh, my goodness. I don't know. You talk about me stealing the second.
If you had zombies chasing you, could you do a 4.6?
Nah, I'd do a 4.2.
There it is.
That knee lift would be high. And it was in the snow.
What was the other question this week? 100 humans versus a gorilla.
Oh, the gorilla.
A gorilla. Right.
I don't know why.
I don't know why it's a question.
Yeah, I don't either. I keep telling people, like, if you go out there, okay, so let's say you get 100 brave humans, right? And you go out there, whoever the first 2 people
they're going to die so horribly.
Are going to die.
Oh, it's going to be
brutal. And guess what? 98 going to see that and be like,
you're going to go from a 10 confidence to a 2 or a 1.
Because why would I run if he just did them 2 like that and I'm next in line to run up there?
Nope.
Like,
I'm running the other
and
way.
then he was like, well, we just all going to attack together. You still are. There's a potential. Yes. There's a potential that you are the guy that he sorts out and just kills.
And humans are cowards. So this morning, I read just the latest bit on Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. So, they had that Super Bowl commercial, the Dunkin' ad. Mm-hmm. She apparently forced herself into that ad. Whereas Bill Belichick's quasi-director of PR, director of marketing, or she identified herself to The Athletic as the COO of Belichick Productions.
Okay.
And then the reporting in The Athletic's like, we've found no existence of a Belichick Productions. But she had, in booking him this, made it so that if he's going to take this, it is only the one stipulation is she is also part of that commercial. So that's what you saw happen. You'd also had the reporting from multiple outlets that UNC and HBO had finalized an agreement to be their Hard Knocks for the offseason. Mm-hmm. Like they even had graphics made up of HBO presents Hard Knocks from the campus of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And it had Belichick and his UNC stuff. They looked ready to go. And she put the kibosh on it at the last second. Nobody really knows why, but they FOIA'd some communication from the athletic department, and it feels like people were insinuating that it was because someone in Belichick's camp was not thrilled with how things were going. This comes off the heels of a Sunday conversation on CBS where the interviewer for CBS, big boy CBS, who's probably interviewed some of the most powerful people in the world, is sitting across from Bill Belichick as he wants to pimp his book, The Art of Winning or something. And then, of course, she's there as his PR person, making sure they ask about this, they don't ask about this, they do one thing or the other. And it was intelligent for CBS to have a camera on her because I don't know if you've seen this, and it's so cringy how it just has it goes to her and she's just glaring at the interviewer. And he had asked Bill he'd asked Bill about the book, Bill about his time, in New England, Bill at his time at North Carolina, and then the conversation turned to Jordan because, of course, it will. 50-year age difference. How did you two meet?
We're not talking about this.
And so that cut will only live on in infamy. And I wonder if you're North Carolina, because she, in defending Bill Belichick against the evil CBS News, used North Carolina, their football communications, to push out an email defending Bill against CBS. Like, she used the Tar Heel football program as the carrier for this. And so I'm wondering if you're the AD at UNC or if you're any of the boosters who facilitated this hiring of Bill Belichick back in December. If you're going, what the hell did we just do?
You brought light to your program.
So any publicity is good publicity, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I buy that.
You
I
know
totally
why?
buy that.
Because even with all of this going on, game one, let me see. Whoever they play game one, everybody's going to tune in to
Their
see that.
schedule is somewhat favorable until I think week 5 they play Clemson.
Okay, but everybody's going to be a great start. Oh, Bill Belichick's thriving. If he comes into that Clemson game, and he's undefeated, he's thriving.
Yeah.
He's figured this out just like he would. I just think it's all about just publicity. At the end of the day, if that team ain't good, this won't last that long.
Won't matter.
Either way. So
be 2 years and done.
All this, we ain't talking about this, all the antics and all that. It'll be done after this season if they don't at least make a bowl game.
Ohio State's biggest portal acquisition was defensive end Bo Atkinson, who entered the transfer portal from USC on April 15th. And he committed to Ohio State on April 23rd. Ohio State needs that depth on the defensive front. Bo Atkinson was extremely productive in his seasons at North Carolina. And I wonder if he had, in the 3 months of Belichick being at North Carolina, maybe he'd already made up his mind after the end of the season last year that once Mac Brown, they fired him, but let him, I think, coach out the remainder of the stretch, had said, all right, I'm going to go in the portal, or I'm going to wait and see who comes up next. Because it does feel like the most Bill Belichick thing to where a player, any player, goes into his office and says, hey, I'm thinking about entering the transfer portal. I don't know if this is the right fit for me. Bill Belichick just stops him in his tracks and says, all right, get the bleep out.
Well, see, that's the thing about the Bo Atkinson thing, is that you left Bill to come play for a guy that was on his coaching staff, Matt Patricia.
But a long time ago. What? I don't think that matters.
Okay.
I don't. Because Larry Johnson's his position coach. Yeah, Patricia's the defensive coordinator. Ryan Day's above it all. So I think with that, in a more chaotic environment, I think the culture here would make that irrelevant.
We also took that long snapper.
Yes. Had to have that.
Yeah. Those Tar Heels love the Buckeyes.
Still looking at a quarterback.
I wonder who their quarterback is going to be this year.
Ryan Day.
Have they gotten any big-time guys transfer in to North Carolina?
I don't think any big-time players.
Because they were in on Nico, right?
Reportedly, yeah, that was... But I think the reporting happened, and then it was squashed pretty quickly. I can't imagine Bill... And I'm using a lot of the Bill from North Carolina. I don't know what this Bill Belichick is anymore, because I don't recognize the two.
Yeah.
Outside of a tattered sweatshirt that he wore in that CBS interview, there's nothing of the Bill Belichick in New England, I think, is part of this. It's funny to me that he came out and said that he was going to turn North Carolina into an NFL pipeline, almost like he invented the college to NFL pipeline, prepare them for the next level. It's like, sir, look around you.
It was
all the biggest college programs have only been doing that for the past decade. Developed here, remember?
Well, but it is some college programs that, it takes the players a couple of years to get acclimated to the NFL because of style of play and things like that.
Is this correct? UNC plays TCU in Ireland?
I see that.
That's in Ireland.
I see that.
Okay.
It's on the 1st of September. What's that, Labor? Is that Labor Day?
Yeah,
No.
It's Labor Day weekend, right?
Labor Day is that Monday.
Yeah, because August 30th, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, then this would lend credence to your argument of they're just getting people to, and we're doing it here. We're talking about North Carolina's head football coach. I don't think at all during Mac Brown's tenure at Chapel Hill did we make any mention of him outside of it's him, Dabo, and Nick Saban were the only coaches in college football that had won a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saban leaves, and it's now just Dabo and Mac Brown. And then Mac Brown gets fired, and then Ryan Day. So it's now just Ryan and Dabo.
No.
That have won a national championship. Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart, yeah.
It's just those three.
It's only three coaches. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Well, when the Tuscaloosa leaves, he takes all that with him.
But that's a shame. It's only three coaches. There's one. That's.
It also shows you how tough this thing is. You get there once, and you don't win it. You might never find yourself back again.
You better make sure when you get there, you better win it,
or else you better make sure the next season you allocate enough resources so that your roster is ready to make another push. And it's the thing about we talked about windows. They can be open for a while, or they can open and shut before you've had a chance to really think.
Yeah.
If the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do what we think they're going to do, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets, Jim.
Up things are down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh yeah, Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Sick of the long security lines and flight delays? Travel on your terms. Go RVing and get ready to save at RCD RV's Open House. From May 3rd through the 10th, take advantage of huge deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Our Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala locations will feature exclusive sale pricing on all new and pre-owned travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes with special financing rates available, plus discounts on camping accessories. Come by today. We'll have your road ready by Memorial Day. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at RCDRV.com.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle-of-the-night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news, we fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball!
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster, current Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining LifeSearch to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. LifeSearch featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Join the Reds and their quest for the coveted Ohio Cup in a weekend series against the Cleveland Guardians, May 16th through the 18th. On Saturday, May 17th, rev your engines for Reds Racing Night. To celebrate the Reds' participation in this summer's MLB Speedway Classic at Bristol, fans in attendance will receive a Mr. Reds race car bobblehead presented by Kroger while supplies last. Secure your seats now at reds.com/tickets.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're still expecting more rain showers here this afternoon into the evening. High temperatures around the upper 50s. And then for tonight, cooling down to the lower 50s with more rain showers possible here through the overnight into our Sunday morning. We'll see the chance for rain showers and a few thunderstorms here by Sunday afternoon with highs into the 60s. And the chance of rain will continue to Monday and Tuesday with highs in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so I'm hoping all of the rain gets out of the way these next couple of days, and then we can have a dry May. Knock on wood. This from the Columbus Clippers, who had a pair of games today against the St. Paul Saints. Both of them have been canceled due to the weather, and they will not be made up. I know Columbus was trying to do doubleheaders all week and was only able to get one of 2 games done over at Huntington Park. And it's such a difficult thing when you have teams that, you know, St. Paul, Columbus, travel in the MILB season, really travel for any baseball is so tough to when you just start going down, you know, 1 cancellation, 2 cancellation, 3 cancellation. At that point, you're like, scrap it. Like, I'm watching, I mean, there's rain everywhere. I'm watching the Miami Grand Prix. They're doing qualifying for that race. And guess what? It's raining in South Beach. It's raining here in Columbus. So if you're driving, please practice safe stopping distance and have your lights on.
It's really all day.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, all right, it says that. Like yesterday, it said it was going to rain for the majority of the day, but you got parts of it rained, then it stopped, and the sun was out. Like, it's literally all day.
I know even Ohio State baseball, they're trying to get a series wrapped. I think they're playing over on ESPN Columbus. They're playing this morning just because they had games to make up. Like, that's just kind of what the last week in April brought.
If we would have just had if we'd have had a dome.
But you want to put a dome in Bill Davis Stadium?
Yep. You
get no pushback because whatever. It's fine.
People all
Guardians are playing in a dome today.
Were we in Houston?
No, they're in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
The Rogers Centre.
Must be nice.
Site of today's action. But right now, the Reds are still scheduled to play against the Nationals. That'll be at 6:40 for the first pitch. You can hear that game on the Fan network coverage at 6:10. So the Steelers drafted Will Howard, and they've got Mason Rudolph.
Mitch Trubisky.
They don't have Mitch Trubisky anymore. And the thinking after the draft was, well, the Steelers probably have Aaron Rodgers ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, he's as much of a wild card as there's ever been in the NFL. If you're able to get Rodgers for the Steelers and that same production he had last season with the Jets, you're probably feeling pretty good about your chances, especially if you got J.J. Watt and your defensive players that you drafted hit, like I kind of expect Derek Harmon to hit.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think that he's a good player. I think drafting.
They always do a good job with defensive players.
Caleb Johnson.
And that Jack Sawyer guy who played pretty well. college football playoff?
I think there was not a pick that I was like, okay, that's a bad pick. So I think they'll be fine there. First of all, and defense has been carrying their team for many, many, many years. Since Ben left, that defense has always carried that team. Even when Ben was there, that defense still was carrying that team. So I'm not shocked in that aspect. I'm trying to see.
So here's the thing.
Oh, they got Skylar Thompson.
Sure.
That's the other quarterback.
With the Steelers and the quarterback situation. Because, yes, they can be super competitive in most games, 10-7, last 2 seasons. But if you're in the AFC North against Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, you've got to score points.
Cam Johnston is there. They punter. Go Cam. Okay.
So picking up Buckeyes.
Go Bucks.
Smart play, right? You want to win, you got a position of need. It's pretty safe to draft a Buckeye. Now, Brooke Pryor covers the Steelers for ESPN. She joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on Bishop and Friends. And she says that the plan is still Aaron Rodgers, but they would be comfortable if that wasn't going to be the case.
Believe it or not, this team does feel really confident in Mason Rudolph. And I have been told from people in the building that they really do. Not only does the coaching staff buy into him, but the guys in the locker room really like Mason Rudolph. I think he earned a lot of credibility with this offense, the way that he finished out the 2023 season. If you remember, that was the Mitch Trubisky, the Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett gets hurt. It just all fell apart, and Mason Rudolph kind of got to be the guy to come in there and salvage the season and get them to the playoffs. So I do think that he has a lot of cachet built up in the organization, but I do think that the undercurrent of all of this is, don't worry, Aaron Rodgers is on the way, which is, I think, a very scary thing to gamble on, because no one really knows what Aaron Rodgers is thinking other than Aaron Rodgers and maybe like the Dolphins swimming in front of his Malibu house.
Now, she said that on Wednesday, and since then I've seen nothing about Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't know when you expect to. The league's going to release their schedule a week from this coming Wednesday, and I do wonder if you're going to get Rodgers news between now and then. Because, you think the NFL's got their schedule finalized for the 2025 season, right?
When does OTA start for them? Rookie minicamp is around May 9th, May 11th for some teams. And then OTA start, a week after that?
May 27th through June 5th for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
If he wants to be a good player this season, Aaron Rodgers, he will sign before that date.
Do you think he thinks he can just jump right in week one and quarterback a team?
I'm sure he feels that way, but if he wants to, if this is his last season and his last hoorah, and he wants to get the most out of it, I would say probably show up to OTAs.
This pains me as a Browns fan, but this is a great opportunity for Will Howard.
I agree.
And I'm excited to see him take the most advantage of this opportunity as possible. Because I think he's absolutely the kind of player that in a scenario that you could describe as chaotic, with Aaron Rodgers, chaos, that he would thrive, though, Will Howard would, in it.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in a thing where the defense really stepped up. He's got some really big-time wide receivers that's makes big-time plays, just like a JJ. So and they're going to be really big on their running game to begin with. So we'll just have to make sure that his play actions is good. When he passes it, he's throwing it a 50-50 ball, but putting it where his wide receivers can make a play. Just put it in the area, and those guys will make the play. And if you do that, and you can continue, you got to do exactly what you did with Ohio State. You come in there as a rookie, you get a chance to learn and meet the guys, and then you start working hard. And as those veterans see, like, oh, this rookie is working hard, he's putting in all this extra work, you start to gain the respect for them. And then you got guys starting to cheer for you. And now people are going to bat for you to be the starting quarterback. And I think that's something that Mason Rudolph has done. That's why Brooke is comfortable saying, like, they'll be fine with him because they've done it before. I mean, it was a couple of years ago where I think they went to the playoffs. They was on like a losing streak. He came in and started, and I think he took them to the playoffs, if I remember correctly. So they've had success with him, but it's not like his job can't be taken.
It's just wild that your plan right now is Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph, and you give confidence there.
It's because you got a good defense.
Those things help.
If that defense is playing lights out like they do, like Kenny Pickett, when Kenny Pickett was there, like, they won a lot of games because of the defense. So it's not something that's foreign to this team. Like, they know, like, if our defense plays well and we run the ball well, we can beat a lot of teams. It's not the sexiest way to win games. We might not score a ton of points, but at the end of the day, we know how to win football games.
So Cam Ward was QB1 in 2025. Who's going to be QB1 in 2026? And I think the truth is we have no idea right now. We'll discuss next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax, and not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, the best football team in the country's on the best radio station in the country. Congratulations, Buckeyes. Here's to 100 more years together. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
I think I know nothing about quarterbacks and evaluating them in the NFL. I'm confident that
you know nothing.
Most people really know nothing. They think
you could argue that the scouts and the GMs also.
There's such a disconnect.
Nothing.
It felt like this past year with guys watching the tape, guys watching practice, guys watching games, and what front offices want to do.
I feel like I got a decent idea. I think it's about competitive.
It's better than me.
I think it's about competitive nature. I really do. Like you hear so many coaches talk about, I want a guy that's a competitor, or I want a guy that's a leader, and then you think about just some of the good quarterbacks. You know, Tom Brady was the ultimate competitor.
Yeah,
like a lot of the stuff we get so enamored with the arm talent and speed and all of those things.
Hand size.
But I think what I learned from being there is that the more successful people actually it's above shoulders. Tom Brady can diagnose what you're doing. He knows how to take care of his teammates. Luke Kuechly was one of the best linebackers because he knew what you was doing before you even said go. You know, Sherm was a really good corner because he realized, oh, y'all think I'm slow, so every time y'all try to me, y'all gonna try to fade, so I'm gonna take away the fade. It's little things that it's really mentality that makes people different, and I feel like that gets overlooked. Because somebody goes out there and runs a really fast 40 or jumps really high. That's why I always say, look at the tape and then get to know the guy.
This time last year, I don't think there was anybody that said Cam Ward was going to go number 1 overall. Like he was, I think, had just committed to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
After
didn't he try to go to the draft?
He put his name in the draft process. They gave him a 4th round grade, and then he said, all right, Miami's boosters have enough money for me. I'll take my talents to South Beach.
I'm not mad at it.
And he had a really productive season. And a lot of NFL teams thought that he was head and shoulders the best quarterback in this draft. And everybody else that got drafted after him was second, third, fourth round grades at best. But there were other needs, and I think the NFL collective told you that it didn't love this quarterback draft class. So are we going to look in 2026 at Carson Beck and saying, man, you made the best decision of your life? Because he was supposed to be the guy. Quinn Ewers was supposed to be the other guy. Like, those were the two that you thought would be battling it out for QB1.
But the thing about Carson Beck is when you watch him play, like, I've never understood it.
I agree with you.
Like, I don't
get it either.
Like, what are y'all
And I've never gotten it either.
That I'm not.
But all I can do is go by what people that I trust to evaluate these guys have said. And they were all saying, Carson Beck, man, he'll be Quinn Ewers. Woo, can't wait till those guys come out.
Quinn had at once upon a time, he had good arm talent. You know, like his.
You think he lost it?
Yes.
Like
he
someone monstered him?
He lost the deep ball. Like before the deep ball.
It was bad in that game against Arizona. Yeah, boy.
Before he got hurt, he could hit every throw. Like when he played the Wolverines, he diced up every throw, made it perfect. And then he got hurt, and when he came back, his deep ball just wasn't the same. And I don't know how much he can read defense. Like I think he's one of those guys that's like you gotta predetermine where you're going with the ball. And I think he can throw a good ball. But if you tell him go out there and all right, if they in cover 2, you do this. If they in cover 1, do this. I think it take him a little bit to process that.
So one of the guys that I trust with NFL draft evaluations, Dane Brugler, who does the Beast for The Athletic.
Dane apologizes to me every time he sees you. He said, listen, bro, I had you going 3rd round.
But he's a guy that's saying, based off of the talent, you're a 3rd-round prospect.
I appreciate that.
And you, I think, were.
Obviously not. The NFL's thought otherwise.
Dane in 2025 or 2024 mocked 2025 Carson Beck going to the Titans at the 2nd overall pick.
Well, he was close on the Titans part.
Well, he was close to the Titans being bad. So for his 2026 mock, he's got Arch Manning going 1st overall to the New Orleans Saints. Now, I think it's more likely than not Arch goes back to Texas for another year.
I feel like it's just no disrespect to Dane. I just think it's a lazy way to just say Arch Manning because, like, people aren't going to argue that. But I feel like it's...
Oh, I'll argue it.
No, I'm saying people like the casual, the people that don't know.
Sure.
Like, they're like, oh, it's Arch Manning. He's at Texas. He held out of the video game. Then he made it a video game announcement. Like, people were like, that's an easy call. It's the safe bet.
Yeah.
But, like, research-wise, like, the guy only played 2 games. Like, they in the SEC, no guarantee that he's going to have a great year. It's not like they got these stud wide receivers, you know, the Xavier Worthies, the Matthew Goldens, the Isaiah Bonds. Those guys are gone. So you got a whole new crop of wide receivers that's coming in there that he has to have chemistry with. There's no guarantee that team is going to be great offensively.
No.
And if that's the case, he's not coming out to begin with.
At 2, he's got South Carolina quarterback Lenoris Sellers.
He's good. I gotta watch some more tape on him, but I don't know too much about him. But I know the name.
Hold off Aaron Nolan in the fall.
Oh yeah, I mean
he should.
Yeah, he should. I'm more of a Garrett Nussmeier guy.
Okay, quarterback for LSU has mocked right now by Dane Brugler going to the Steelers at 16.
That'd be a good spot for him, actually. I hate saying that, but that'd be a good spot for him.
Have to see what happens.
Well, right. Hopefully Will blows it up and they don't even need to draft a quarterback.
With the 5th overall pick in 2026, Dane Brugler has the Browns taking Drew Aller, quarterback from Penn State.
You missed me with that.
So all you Browns fans that were clamoring for it in the college football playoff, looks like if Dane's correct, you're going to get your shot. Now, the thing I like about what Dane's doing here, and this is, again, Browns fan Eric telling you that the Browns have the 5th pick and the Browns have the 9th overall pick, the one they got from Jacksonville. So drafting twice in the top 10. Tyvis right now, if the Browns are picking 5th, is Kevin Stefanski the head coach by the time they make that decision? Is Andrew Berry the general manager by the time the Browns are making that decision?
I think Kevin's still here.
Yeah.
The AB thing, you could flip a coin.
Yeah. Like it's if the Browns are at 5, it's real hairy for AB. Yeah. If the Browns are any higher than that, no.
You think both?
Well, I think I agree with your point about Stefanski. But I wonder if they trust AB doing another draft. Because if they're picking that high, not sure it went too well in terms of the guys you picked and making an immediate impact.
That's fair. Because technically, this would be like the big restart.
Yep.
Like, if you're going to blow it up that next year's draft with them 2 first-round picks,
that's what you use. That's your catalyst.
You got to make sure that you hit on them 2 picks. And if he's had no success with the pass, there's no way I'm letting him touch them 2 picks.
It's insane where we've come in terms of the quarterback path from high school, high prep level, to college with the transfer portal, now to the NFL, because Arch Manning was the number 1 recruit in the class of 2023. Of the top-rated quarterbacks in that class, he's the only one that's still committed to his school. Everybody else has found the portal.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Rashada.
Oh,
my. Arizona State, Florida, Georgia. Now it's Sacramento State.
That's a shame. Now, the Florida transfer I get because of the money.
Suit him?
Yeah, the money thing. But I don't know why he left Georgia.
Wasn't getting playing time.
Okay,
that's all I can assume.
Okay, now it's back to they had ground zero at the quarterback position. Like, if you I'd have went through this spring, and if I couldn't beat them out in the spring, all right, now it's time for me to transfer. But like, this was supposed to be the moment where you at least could have became
lived up to your 4-star billing.
Yeah, like,
this was last week. I think
they be canceling themselves out too quick.
Last week, I think I unfairly used Haley Van Lith as an example of why constant portal popping I thought was bad for college athletics and college athletes overall, because she did get her degree from Louisville before going to LSU, and then I think she mastered at LSU and then continued education at Tennessee. So I think it was unfair to use her as that example, but I think Jaden Rashada might be the better example of this, and I don't see anybody championing what he's doing as much as they did with Van Lith taking 3 different teams to the Elite 8. But this constant portal popping cannot be good for your overall development as a player and as a person. I don't see a way it can.
I know for a fact that NFL scouts raises red flags
in any line of work. If you got a guy with a resume that's got job after job after job, like in consecutive years,
I think everybody's like, all right, you transfer once, all right, that's pretty normal, pretty standard in today. But like 2-3 times, like. Well, like, okay, what are you not committed? Now you're not loyal? Like, what is it? And now you want me to bring you to my franchise? Like, no. So I advise people, like, ride it out for as long as you can. And if you absolutely can't get there because the guy is just better than you, that's part of it too. Or the situation just ain't right. All right, that's when you go portaling. And then you make sure in that portal, okay, let's say I'm a cover 3 corner, but they want me to play cover 2 here, and they offer me the most money. Well, that's not going to help me. It's not going, you know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe I will take less money to get to be able to play what I play to help me ultimately get to the NFL. So, but that money going to change them every time. So, it is what it is.
So, that 2023 class, Dante Moore was a 5-star.
Oregon now?
Is at Oregon now. Committed to UCLA. Jackson Arnold, Malachi Nelson, Jaden Rashada, Aiden Childs, Oregon State. Now he's at Michigan State. I think he followed his head coach. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different instances here, but the idea that Arch Manning is the lone man standing at the place he committed to speaks to a not great trend with college football that I think we're going to see continue.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Until they put some stipulations on it, this is what it's going to be.
Yep. This is college athletics. And we got some basketball Buckeye updates that I want to give you before we get out of here. We'll do that next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Sick of the long security lines and flight delays? Travel on your terms. Go RVing and get ready to save at RCD RV's Open House. From May 3rd through the 10th, take advantage of huge deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Our Delaware, Heath, and Patasko locations will feature exclusive sale pricing on all new and pre-owned travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes with special financing rates available, plus discounts on camping accessories. Come by today. We'll have your road ready by Memorial Day. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo. And my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep-making-plans.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My guys and gals at Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. They are your Central Ohio dealer for Weaver Barns. They are the leaders when it comes to getting a barn or structure for your property. Maybe you need a garage, a little tiny one, or one with living spaces and a workshop and everything. Get a garage so nice you could live in it. That's what I do. I live in my garage. No, I don't. Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. Or go to AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Promo code Live in Your Garage. Not really.
Nashville's hottest band, Old Dominion, is coming to Great American Ballpark on July 10th as part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. After the Reds take on the Marlins, all fans in attendance are invited to stay and enjoy a set from Old Dominion. Plus, you can upgrade your ticket to a pit field pass for an up-close view of the show. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/concerts.
The Fan has been ranked as the second best sports station in America by our industry peers. Our heartfelt thank you is in order. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here with a challenge. Well, a challenge might not be the best choice of words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, doesn't it? 40 by the 4th. Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th of July? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the 260 number be a little nicer on your eyes and on your knees? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in just 8 weeks. There's no reason you can't drop 40 by the 4th and be feeling as great as I still do now. Ring Independence Day in healthy, confident, and most important, feeling happy. You reached your goal with the help of Awaken 180. So fire up your grill and grab your beverage of choice because the weight's staying off thanks to free support for life. 40 by the 4th. Set your goal and reach it. Reserve your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Especially when there's breaking Ohio State football news. This from Bill Kurlick of Bucknuts and 24/7 Sports.
You're supposed to play like some sound, like some breaking news sound.
What? I don't have a sounder.
Oh, man.
Do you want me to? I mean, everybody always plays the ABC one, the bum, 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 but we're not ABC, so. Breaking news. I'll just say it like that. Or do you want to say it? You say it. Give your breaking news sound. Ball State kicker Jackson Corville committed to Ohio State. He announced the news. He'd been in the portal, visited Ohio State. I guess the workout went so well that he's committed to the Buckeyes. So it gives Ohio State two kickers.
Whoa. We work people out?
Well, yeah, if they come in, they're portal persons. You come in and you have them kick.
Really?
Why wouldn't you?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think it's a thing for everybody.
It's like the NFL.
I don't know if they had Bo Atkinson going through the trenches or do the.
When you say work them out, like that's NFL stuff. I know all about those. I've been many a day. It's been many a day. I done went through some workouts.
So Corville was 15 of 21 with a long of 48 last season, 24 of 25 extra points. He's a Centerville native. The class of 2023. So, yeah, he will compete with Jaden Fielding. And it's probably Jaden Fielding's job to lose, but you need some depth there. So that's good. Again, all of the portal persons now even with Atkinson, the spring portal persons for Ohio State are going to be depth pieces to challenge guys through camp. In case of emergency, you break this glass. So this is fine.
This is the second MAC kicker taken. Last year, wasn't it Miami of Ohio's kicker that got poached by
Kalen DeBoer stole their kicker. Chuck Martin was so peeved.
So the MAC coaches should be aware that
yes, Eddie George, if you're listening, you need to be aware that if you have successful players that you've recruited and developed, they will be poached. And maybe you want that for them. If you get a 2-star running back from Toledo Whitmer and he commits to Bowling Green and all of a sudden he has 1,500 yards in the MAC, would you begrudge him if he goes to Ohio State because the Buckeyes offered him twice as much in NIL?
No.
Okay.
No, but then that's also like...
And the turnaround is if a 5-star comes to Ohio State and can't hack it here, then Eddie George is waiting to give him a second chance.
I think...
That's what I love about the transfer portal.
But I think that, yes, what you're saying is true, but at what point do you say to yourself, like, I'm above like this? Like, because it's not like a MAC school can't make the CFP.
Technically, they can.
So, like...
Technically, yes.
So, like, if I'm, like, that good and I can be that...
No.
Group of 5?
No, stop. All right, I'm going to cut it off here.
What? If Bowling Green made the CFP, it would be the greatest story in college football. I don't even care if they win it all. Just the fact that they made it, like, I would talk about that for an entire year.
As you should. If you were a Bowling Green fan, why would you?
But that's not going to happen if you
probably not.
If you continue to get poached. Like, you want to build a program that makes players think, you know what, I ain't going
There's
there.
what you can control and what you can't control.
You got to get the loyalty going.
Bowling Green's never going to have the war chest to compete with an Ohio State.
Never say never.
I'm saying never in this instance. Bowling Green, Ohio, Toledo, Kent State, Akron, never.
You remember my Doctor Strange in 1,000 universes? Maybe not. But there isn't 1 or 2 or maybe 3 universes.
Okay, where none of those are this universe. So yesterday, NBA Communications announced the 75 players that are going to be invited to the Draft Combine, which will take place May 11th through the 18th in Chicago. Bruce Thornton, not one of them.
Oh.
So I know there was the reporting that he was going to go and put his name into the NBA draft pool and see the kind of report card he got back. And this is kind of the understanding that he was going to go do that, and then he was going to come back to Ohio State. Also not invited to the draft combine was Texas Tech forward Darian Williams. And there's been some smoke connecting Williams, who's in the transfer portal or close to coming out of the transfer portal, could be a guy they land in Columbus. Mm-hmm. John Rothstein is up there with Jacob Reimer and Timmy Hall in terms of college basketball psychopaths. And Rothstein has what he calls his Rothstein 45. And this week he had Ohio State ranked 27th in his Rothstein 45. Here's the projected starting 5. Stop me when you have concerns. At guard, Bruce Thornton. Guard, Junie Mobley. Forward, Devin Royal. Forward, Colin White. You're supposed to stop me there. Center, Christoph Tilley.
I don't even know who that is.
Colin White?
Yeah.
I think I think this will be his second season with the program.
I don't know.
Well.
Give me that. Who's at the 3? Devin Royal?
Royal. 4 is Colin White.
What about Brandon Knoll?
Well, he's on the projected bench for John Rothstein. Now, I think it'll be Knoll and Colin White that'll be battling it out, as they say.
I got to look this kid up now. Is he like a big recruit?
I don't know if big recruit's the label I would use. But that's, with me, I go, Ohio State really needs to do one more portal person.
Yeah. Well, he was Mr. Basketball in Ohio.
He was?
2024.
So I think and the Sean Stewart thing is boggling. It still boggles my mind. How, like, this late in the process, he looked at Brandon Knoll coming in and said, no, I'm going to go. And I don't think Stewart's landed anywhere. Aaron Bradshaw's at Memphis now.
He joins LeBron James as the only high school player in Ohio to start on a state Final Four team 4 consecutive seasons.
Solid dude.
Yes.
But I don't know if that's going to be enough right now to make a Big Ten tournament run.
He's a knockdown three-pointer.
How did he do last season? A limited action. I understand that.
Yeah, he appeared in 19 games, averaged 1.1 points and 1.1 rebounds per game. There you go.
So that's why you go and get Brandon Knoll and then kind of hope that Stewart stays, but Stewart is now in the transfer portal. So still work for Jake Diebler and company to do. You're going to get a CBS Sports Classic. I believe it's December 20th in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena. Ohio State's going to play North Carolina. It was announced this week that UCLA had backed out of it, and they're going to be replaced by St. John's. Okay. St. John's, with Rick Pitino, is going to play Kentucky. That's a heck of a game.
Didn't they just play in the, what was that, this Sweet 16?
Well, they played Arkansas. St. John's did.
Oh, it was Arkansas.
So it was a different former Kentucky coach.
Yes.
Yeah, this game will be State Farm Arena on December 20th. And you'll have...
Do you think St. John's will be as good as they were this year, next year?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think they have potential to be better. They've done some big spending in the portal.
Okay.
They have boosters that are excited about Rick Pitino and the run that he's put them on. And this feels now, the more that we go into the offseason for college basketball, that this could be Pitino's last place. Like, he's good here because of what St. John's is going to provide.
I mean, revenue sharing, he's getting a bigger slice of the pie, so it's not going to be too many other places you could say that.
Outside, Tyvis, of a 2016 NBA Finals run, where I was privileged enough to do Cavaliers postgame with the great Les Levine, I have not had any more fun doing radio programs than I've done the Saturday Spectacular with you over the last couple of years.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it.
It has truly been an honor to share this Saturdays with you.
Yeah, it's going to be sad next Saturday.
But I am so excited for your opportunity.
I appreciate that.
T-Bone and Tyvis, Monday, May 12th, 6 to 9 a.m. on The Fan. You'll have Matt Fontana and Dane Sanzenbacher next Saturday on The Fan.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, which brand of air conditioner is the most energy efficient?
It's the one that's had its outside coils cleaned correctly.
Well, I can wash those off with a garden hose, right?
No.
Why not?
Humidity mixes with dust and pollen to create a microthin film of sticky paste that gets baked onto those hot outside coils.
And that baked-on stuff keeps my coils from releasing their heat into the atmosphere.
Which means your system has to run longer, which uses a lot more energy and it shortens the life of your air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO. How do we get that baked-on stuff off?
Remove the exterior shroud, then spray the coils from the inside out with a special eco-friendly solvent.
Can I rinse the solvent off with a garden hose?
Yeah, but only from the inside out.
Or I could just pay Eco to do it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco doesn't take shortcuts. We do it the right way every time.
Get Eco professional coil cleaning for just $468.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you ask about Pick 3 from the Ohio Lottery? Okay, Pick 3 is a daily draw game where you pick 3 individual numbers between 0 and 9 that can be played straight, where numbers must be drawn in an exact order or boxed where they can be drawn in any order. You can win hundreds, and wagers start at only 50 cents. Want to learn more? Okay, go to OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.